Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Rebels Radio here today, as we're going to bring you all of the action from this Emirates FA Cup third qualifying round between Slough Town and their visitors this afternoon at Bristol Manor Farm FC. So we're just going to a couple of things for you, just to let you know. Although obviously I do the commentary and it's lovely to do the commentary, we're a bit short-staffed here at the football club this afternoon, so I will be doing the tannoy as well as doing the scoreboard. So please bear with me if everything goes wrong. I've got a new microphone. Do I sound different today? People will tell you in a second whether I sound a little bit different. Got a new microphone this afternoon, which we've tested out. So this is Rebels Radio. It's brought to you by our two sponsors, and we'd like to thank both of them for their continued support throughout the season. They are My FC, the online football community, and you can find more about them at My FC on the Pachero website. And also our other sponsors are the Slough Town Supporters Trust, and again we thank them for their continued support as well. We've just got to keep an eye on the players coming out, because we've got to do that and announce that as well. So just bear with us, it'll all go wrong, don't worry. My name is Aid. If you would like to get in contact with us here at Rebels Radio, you can do so two ways. You can do so on Twitter. It's at MyFC Rebels Radio, all in one word, all in lowercase. Or if so, listening on the app on your phone, the YouTube, a little bit that comes through as comments. You do need to be a subscriber to do that. It's free to subscribe. You just need like a password and email and whatever kind of thing. Do so, and that will come through to us here, and I will try to give you a shout out this afternoon, and we'll give you those bits as well. A couple of things for you. Up and coming games for the Rebels. If today's game finishes level after 90 minutes, there will be a replay on Tuesday evening, the 9th of October, and that will be at the Creek, which is the ground of Bristol Manor Farm, and that'll be a 7:45 kickoff on Tuesday evening. So if it's all score, the score is all. I'm going to start this again. Score is level after 90 minutes. I'm going to give you some of the details. After that, Slough are away on the 13th of October, where they're away to Welling United. There is a supporters coach going to both either the replay or Welling United. They'll leave St Joseph's School. Please look at the Slough Town Supporters Trust website for more details about that. The 20th of October, if Slough win today, Slough will be in the draw. The draw is live on Monday on TalkSport Radio. So if Slough win today, then they will be playing on Saturday the 20th of October, whether it's home or away. If they lose today or get knocked out on Tuesday night or whatever, they will be home to Truro City on the 20th of October. And then the 27th of October, Slough will be away to St Albans City. So just saying, I do have to do the microphone, the tannoy system here at Arbour Park as well. So I'm just going to have to kind of like keep an eye on different things that are coming on. The tunnel was just coming out, now the tunnel's going back, so I'm not sure what's going on, but players aren't ready to come out yet. Other games in the Emirates FA Cup featuring teams from the National League South. St Albans versus Corinthian-Casuals is a second qualifying round replay, and there's a problem with the lights at Corinthian-Casuals ground, so that's been played at Invercourt, which is a home to Met Police. So other than that, it's Bath City versus Lewis, Billericay Town versus Whitehawk, Concord Rangers versus Beaconsfield, Eastbourne Borough versus Dulwich Hamlet in the All National League South game, Gloucester City at home to Dorking Wanderers, Hampton and Richmond Borough versus AFC Hornchurch, Hemel Hempstead Town versus Ramsgate, Hereford versus Welling United. Another All National League South game is Hungerford Town versus Wealdstone. As this one, Oxford City versus Dartford, it's Western Supermare versus Coggeshall Town, and Woking versus Kempston Rovers. Those are the other games. It is very cold here at Arbour Park. It is raining as well. So there you go. We're just gonna. Are you gonna give me a wave? Are you gonna give me a wave? So we're just waiting, because I've got to keep an eye on when and announce the players coming out. So I'm just going to quickly run through the sides for you. For the two sides, just run through the starting 11s for you. For Bristol Manor Farm, we'll play in red shirts, yellow shorts and yellow socks. In goal is Ben John, 2 Ian Harvey, 3 is Aaron Robbins, 4 Stuart Tovey, 5 is the captain Steve Kingdon, 6 is Rex Manning, 7 Jordan Metters, 8 Troy Simpson, 9 Dean Stamp, 10 Owen Howe and 11 is Ashley Kington. For the Rebels, it's Jack Turner in goal, 2 Josh Jackman, 3 George Wells, 4 Sam Togwell, 5 Mark Nisbet, 6 is Lee Togwell, 7 James Dobson, 8 Scott Davies, 9 is Chris Flood, 10 Matt Stevens, 11 Warren Harris. Substitutes for Bristol Manor Farm are 12 Pete Shepherd, 14 Mark Badman, 15 James White, 16 Tom Lacey, and goalkeeper is Connolly Jarrett. I think it might be Jarrett Connolly, but he's the goalkeeper. For the Rebels, it's Guy Hollis, 12, 14, Sean Fraser, 15 is Louis Soares, 16, Maddie Williams, 17 is goalkeeper Maddie Pearson, 18 is Ben Harris. Your referee today is Mr. Chris O'Donnell. His two assistants are Jack Bloxham and Tom Elsmore. So we are trying to keep our eyes on various different things that are going on this afternoon. So please accept my apologies if everything goes a little bit wrong this afternoon, but I am trying to do the tannoy announcing as well, which I'm just waiting for a signal to the players are coming out, so just bear with me for that. And I'm doing the scoreboard, which has just turned itself off. We'll get there in the end. We're slowly going to get there this afternoon. Somehow something is bound to go wrong, but we're going to give it a go. We'll do the best we can for you. So like I say, if you do want to get in contact with us, please do so. It's on Twitter at MyFC Rebels Radio, or like David Randall has just come in, who's listening in, who's still not well, to come down. So his dad's down here today, but he's hoping for a Slough Town win. And Bristol Manor Farm brought a small number of fans here down this afternoon. And it's good to see the away travelling support who've been in the bar quite early, drinking a lot of the Doom Bar and Bulmers. So there you go. So we are just waiting on indications that the two sides will come out, and then I'll have to try and do the tannoy and do the commentary at the same time. We're giving out ponchos here at the moment as the rain is coming down here at Arbour Park. It's just a little bit lighter than it was earlier. And so we're just doing that. We are waiting for a signal to say whether they I'm getting the signals, but I don't know what the signals are. He's pointing upwards. He's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, please, it's Jack Turner in goal, 2 Josh Jackman, 3 George Wells, 4 Sam Togwell, 5 is Captain Martin Nisbet, 6 Lee Togwell, 7 James Dobson, 8 Scott Davies, 9 Chris Flood, 10 Matt Stevens, 11 Warren Harris. Your referee today is Mr. Chris O'Donnell. His assistants are Jack Bloxham and Tom Elsmore. Just waiting for the two teams to come out for you this afternoon. So just waiting on this. So just going to do the tannoy at the same time. So just waiting for the signal for the two sides to come out for this Emirates FA Cup third qualifying round. The draw will be held on Monday on Talk Sport Radio. As the Slough fans have just made a small section over on the far hand side. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your hands together as we welcome the two sides to this Emirates FA Cup game. It's Slough Town versus Bristol Manor Farm. Alright, that's the tannoy done for the moment as the two sides come out. We've got to do the scoreboard next. We'll get there in the end. But there you go. Hopefully you heard the team announcements of the 11s here this afternoon. Today's game is sponsored by Royston Building Services, and we thank Daniel and I've got the other guy's name, I've forgotten that, so I'm really apologies for that one. Whereas Daniel and Joseph Slatter from Royston's, who the match sponsors, and today's mascot is Freddie Burton, who's 10 years old today. It's his birthday. Well, just hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be a special presentation here to Jack Turner, the Slough goalkeeper, who was named the National League South Player of the Month for September. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Turner! That's right, I'm doing everything, don't we? Then you've got to make sure that I've turned the tannoy announcer off as well. There you go, we're getting there. So we're just waiting for the referee to call the two captains over for this afternoon's game. And we'll bring you that as well. Hopefully you got the teams there, so I don't need to run through that today. But again, please bear with me if a couple of things go wrong this afternoon. Many hands do make light work. Unfortunately, we've only got the two here, so there you go. But please feel free to get in contact and we do have to say a special hello to Delia Humphrey, who's listening in at home. Her husband, what's just gone on? Hold on. Sorry, everything just turned off then. Special mention to Delia Humphrey, who's unfortunately not well today. Her husband Neil is a constant fan and listener who's here this afternoon. So good afternoon to you, Delia. Hope you get well soon. We're just waiting for the referee he's just called the two captains over here for the start of this game, and we're just going to keep our eyes on this and so that we can start the game off. Both number 5s are the captains this afternoon. Just waiting to see who's got the kick-off. Nobody seems to want to be taking it. Slough look like they've got the kick-off. They'll be shooting from right to left this afternoon for this first half. And it's going to be Slough with the kick-off here, just waiting for the referee, Mr. O'Donnell, just to make sure that everything's fine. And it's he's just waiting for the goalkeepers to get into thing. And I don't know what he's waiting for. He's waiting for Jack Turner to give him a... Just get on with it. Come on, ref. We're a minute past 3 already. Come on, you can do this. And there you go. It's kick-off here. And we've got 2 different stopwatches to start. Slough with the ball here. Comes to Mark Nisbet. Under pressure immediately. Clears the ball out to Dobson. Dobson plays it up here towards Flood. Flood can hold the ball up for Slough. Just shaking off the ball well there by Kington. And he can bring the ball here for Bristol Manor Farm. Ball goes all the way back towards the goalkeeper, John, who clears the ball long here on this far hand side. Comes to Dobson, who's first for Slough, and gets to the ball. Cuts inside. Still running with the ball. Plays it inside here to Scott Davis. Davis has got time to turn and look up here. He's got Jackman on the far right hand side. Ball just catches in the artificial grass here, and it's played back here towards Lee Togwell, just on the corner of the centre circle. Back out here towards Josh Jackman. Jackman takes the ball inside, just running with the ball, travelling 13-20 yards, still breaks into the box, just overruns it, and the tackle comes in, and it's a throw to Slough on the far hand side. Level with the 18-yard box. Warren Harris takes it towards Josh Jackman. Jackman gets it back here towards Warren Harris. Harris being drawn wide. Gets across in. It's left by Flood. It's come through. It's cleared in the end by the captain, Kingdon. And the ball's played out here, and it's been picked up by Simpson. Simpson's load loses the ball. It's here with George Wells. Wells just chips the ball into the far post, looking for the run of Flood, but it's just over his head and goes out of play for a goal kick this afternoon. So early days here at Arbour Park. Rain just seeming to ease off a little bit here at the moment. Oh, as I say that, I just had a look at the puddle, and it is coming down still quite heavily here at Arbour Park. So there you go. I don't know why I said that. That was all wrong. There you go. But yes, please do come and comment on the sections there. Good afternoon to Mike O'Loughlin, who's listening in. Everyone normally comments and says that they're listening somewhere nice and warm while we're having cold hands here this afternoon. Ball's won by Slough. It's been hooked clear in the end, though, by Harvey. And it comes through here towards Wells. He feeds it back towards Turner in the Slough goal. His kick's not the best. He gets a deflection there, and there's a foul by Slough for a challenge by James Dobson. And it's a free kick to Bristol Manor Farm, just inside their own half. And it looks like the captain will go across to take this one, Steve Kingdon. And he's just floats this ball into the box. It's a good ball. It's got a touch at the back post there. Comes off the back of Robbins for a goal kick to the Rebels here. And 2 minutes gone. It's 0-0 between the two sides here at the moment. But early days in this Emirates FA Cup game. Just a reminder that should this game be level after 90 minutes, then there'll be a replay at Bristol Manor Farm's ground, the Creek, on Tuesday evening. That'll be Tuesday the 9th of October. And it's Jack Turner with this goal kick for Slough, aimed again towards Dobson, who gets well up and flicks the ball on, trying to find Stevens. Stevens can't get it. He blocks the ball, comes into the path of Warren Harris. Harris just being forced wide here, but finds Lee Togwell. Togwell's got Jackman on the overlap if he needs him, and finds him. Jackman with time to cross. Crosses in well. It's headed away brilliantly there by Mannings. The ball comes to the edge of the area. It's hooked clear by Bristol Manor Farm with the ball forwards here, looking for Owen Howe, but it's been played back to Jack Turner. And it's been chased down here by Troy Simpson, but the ball played forwards by Turner. It's a free header for Masses, but it's come here towards Dobson. Oh, Dobson back heel gives the ball away, but it's won back by George Wells and finds Lee Togwell. Togwell just stretches, plays the ball here for Maddie Stevens to chase, but Ian Harvey, the right back, comes across, plays it back towards Ben John in the Bristol goal. And his ball played forwards, looking for the run of Howe. Comes off the head of Mark Nisbet and run through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal, who quickly rolls the ball out here to a rather wet-looking George Wells. And under pressure finds the ball in towards Scott Davis. Davis chased down by Kington, but the ball's back here with Wells. He plays the ball down looking for the run of Flood. Flood tries to chest it into the path of Stevens, but can't make contact on it. And it goes straight through to the goalkeeper for Bristol Manor Farm, Ben John. I believe he used to play for Cirencester Town. I do remember his name. He does look like a regular person that we've played against in our times. I know Owen Howe was at Tiverton last season. As that long kick goes in, headed away by Mark Nisbet. Slough looking for a foul. Flicked on here by Kington, and it's fined by Stimpson. But Lee Togwell wins it for Slough and finds Scott Davis. Davis trying to play the ball out here to Warren Harris. Harris being marshalled by Rex Mannings, and it's played back in here to Chapman. Chapman finds Sam Togwell, and Togwell just plays it back out here to Josh Chapman. He's got plenty of time on the ball. Finds Scott Davis. A stretch, he keeps hold of it, and then plays the ball out here towards Dobson. Dobson just turns and plays it back into the path of George Wells. Wells halfway inside the Bristol Manor Farm. Great ball in. Oh, and Flood gets a touch to it. And it's a chance. He doesn't get a decent enough touch on it. It's a good cross from Wells. And Flood gets a flick onto it, but it's just wide of the goal and out for a goal kick. And we just got to make sure that we do that as a shot off target. There you go. So it's the goalkeeper Ben John who will take this goal kick for the visitors here. 0-0 so far. We're just 5 minutes of the game gone. Good afternoon to Keeler Sharp. Wants to know if we're playing left to right. We're playing right to left. Just there you go. Long ball full play full for Howe. Howe does well to flick the ball on, but his header can't be kept inside the game, and it's gone out of play for a throw to Slough, which George Wells takes and quickly finds the goalkeeper Jack Turner. Jack Turner wearing his all-white kit today. Ben John, the Bristol goalkeeper, in a proper goalkeeping green kit, which is always nice to see. And Jack Turner here places the ball down here, looking for the run of Flood, and there's a diving header there by Tovey. Ball comes here though, and it's won back by Dobson. Dobson his first time, ball into the box. It's been hooked clear by the captain Kingdon. Comes here towards Simpson. Simpson's ball forwards, and Josh Chapman tries to get there first. Howard just eases him off the ball. Plays the ball into Simpson. Simpson's onside, up against the goalkeeper. It's a save there. Ball bounces around. Oh, what a challenge. What a block on the line by Slough. Slough's ball still bouncing around. Comes here towards Simpson, who tries to get a shot away. And Slough under bench pressure, but some really great defending. First of all, it was Mark Nisbet, and then Sam Togwell with the clearances off the line. Slough had the ball here with Scott Davis, but under pressure here. And it's here with James Dobson running at the Bristol Manor defence. Plays the ball out here towards Warren Harris. Harris on the edge of the box, trying to place through. Comes into Flood, who finds Josh Chapman coming through. Chapman with a shot. Oh, it's just wide of the goal. And a flurry of efforts just coming in here at the moment for these two sides. But Slough under some rip defending there from Bristol Manor. Jack Turner made a great save with his feet. Defeated Troy Simpson. The ball rebounded around kindly for Howe, who had his shot blocked by Mark Nisbet, and then the ball fell kindly then to Dean Stamp, who's tried to get his shot away, but it was blocked on the line by Sam Togwell, and Slough finally cleared and then went straight down the other end. And Josh Chapman, who's the only goal scoring defender for Slough, almost got Slough in the lead, but it's 0-0 here. And it's a free header here for Scott Davis, trying to find Matt Stevens. Beat into the ball, comes here towards Kington, who clears. There's a King Don and a King Ton for Bristol Manor Farm today, so that's why you may find it a little bit strange with some of the names. But the ball's been thrown here to Jack Turner, the Slough goalkeeper, who plays the ball out here looking for Warren Harris. Well read there by Robbins, but it's come through to Josh Chapman. He finds the ball through to Matty Stevens. Stevens just turns and just gets his shirt pulled, but the referee says play on. And the ball's here with Josh Chapman, finding Warren Harris down the near hand side. Mannings slips as he goes to close him down, and Warren Harris can cut the ball inside here, inside towards Scott Davis. Davis trying to find George Wells on this left hand side. Oh, Wells trying to burst past the challenge here, and it's adjudged to be a foul there by George Wells, and that's a little bit harsh, but the foul right by the byline of the Bristol Manor goal. Good play there by Stuart Tovey, who was shielding the ball, but it was the referee says there was a foul in there, and it's going to be a free kick to Bristol Manor Farm. As the rain just still comes down here at Arbour Park. Long ball played forwards here, looking for Simpson. Beat into the ball well by Nisbet. Headed on by Dobson. Comes towards Flood. Flood's header finds Dobson. Ball played forwards here for Stevens to chase, but it's gone back to the goalkeeper from the captain, Kingdon. And it's played here forwards here by John. Up against Wells, and Wells shields the ball, goes out of play for a throw to the Rebels. And it's right by the home dugout here at Arbour Park. And the Slough fans making a little bit of noise here this afternoon. Quick throw here by George Wells back towards the goalkeeper Turner, who, if you didn't hear, got the Player of the Month award for September in the National League South. He just gets the ball back here from Sam Togwell, plays it out here looking for Chris Flood. Good little header on here, and Dobson's in a foot race here with Harvey. Comes off Harvey's head last. It's a throw to Slough, level with the 18-yard box. Taken quickly in towards Flood. Flood inside the box, crosses far hand side. Comes to Warren House, falls for Sealand, and Slough have the lead. And it's the online Peterborough striker who scores for the Rebels. It's Matty Stevens with the goal. I just got to try and update the scoreboards. I can't do it because it don't say. I can't seem to find how to do that. But it's a goal to the Rebels here this afternoon. Matt Stevens with the goal, comes on 10 minutes. And we'll just await for someone to tell us the goal. 10. You going to do it? Oh, yeah. Okay, someone else is doing the tannoy. It's fine. So Slough with an early lead here from Matt Stevens, who fires in from 10 yards. It's Slough 1, Bristol Manor Farm 0. And some good play by the Slough, but a lucky ricochet off Warren Harris just fell into the path of Slough, and they take the lead here. And it's Bristol Manor Farm with the kickoff here, and it's played out here towards Harvey. Ball back in here towards Jetters. Jetters with the ball out, intercepted by Dobson. It comes through to Scott David. Just runs the ball over, and it's won back by Kingdon. Just overruns the ball, but it's played forwards here, and a good turn here by Kingdon, who gets the ball in, but won by Mark Nisbet for Slough, and he finds George Wells in towards Dobson. Slough under a bit of pressure here, in towards Davis. Davis just overplays the ball, just goes nutmegs Owen Howe and plays it back towards Jack Turner. But Slough under pressure when they've got the ball across their back four. But it's here with Jackman. Jackman with ball inside towards Togwell. Togwell's got a bit of space here and finds Matt Stevens. Back in towards Togwell, who leaves it for Chris Flood. Flood's got Jackman on the overlap on the right-hand side. Finds him. Jackman coming down. Crosses first time. Kingdom with the hook away. And it's a foot race here for Sam Togwell, who gets through. It's a foul, though, by Bristol Manor Farm. And they take it quickly to Slough Town. And it's played here towards George Wells. Wells running at the defence. Finds Dobson on this left-hand side. Dobson crosses first time. It's hit straight at the goalkeeper, who does well to save that one. But nice and easy shot for him to save. But good effort there by Slough. But they're in the lead here, 1-0. And a long ball played forwards. It flicks off the head of Simpson, run through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. Good afternoon to Philip Benton, who's a Bristol Manor Farm fan, and unfortunately just seen his team behind here at the moment. Early days here though at Arbour Park. Just 11.5 minutes gone here. 1-0 to Slough. Ball's here with Scott Davis. Gets it back towards Sam Togwell. Togwell in towards Jack Turner, the Slough goalkeeper. Chips the ball out here towards George Wells. Wells just can't reach that one. It's just over his head, and it's a throw here to Bristol Manor Farm. Quickly taken by Kingdon, and he finds the left back Robbins. Ball played here towards Jetters. Jetters back in towards Dean Stamp, who's playing a little bit deep for Bristol Manor Farm here. Ball played on the far hand side. Here comes to Mannings, who's playing down the right side. Back here towards, down the left side here with Robbins. Robbins bringing the ball forward, gets it in towards Stamp. Stamp here towards Kingdon. Kingdon just being forced inside. Plays the ball out here, and it's been kept in well by Manning on the far hand side, but he's offside. I know you don't like doing offsides, so I will do them because I like that. I like offsides. Okay, have we got to do the tannoy again now? Oh, we're doing the tannoy again. Brilliant. Jack Turner with this long kick has gone all the way through to Ben John, the Bristol Manor Farm goalkeeper. And just waiting to get his team further up the field. Long kick here by the goalkeeper on the far hand side. Josh Jackman, it hits him on the back of the head. Sam Togwell's there first for Slough to clear long. Headed away by the Bristol Manor Farm captain Kingdon. Comes over us only as far as Lee Togwell, who finds Josh Jackman on the far hand side. Jackman just holds the ball up into Lee Togwell. Togwell on the halfway line. Back here towards Josh Jackman. Slough seeing a lot of play down this right hand side for their right hand side, and played across here towards Sam Togwell. Back here towards Mark Nisbet in his bright orange boots. Finds Davis. Davis finds Dobson. Slough passing the ball around on the artificial service here. Ball played here looking for Flood. Does really well to keep the ball in. Leaves it for Dobson. Flood gets the ball back and being forced inside here, but chips the ball forward. It hits Stamp, but Flood gets a lucky ricochet and finds Dobson down the left hand side. Dobson coming in, crosses first time. It's over the head. It's been headed away by Harvey, but it comes back out towards Chris Flood. Slough keeping the ball well, and it's here with George Wells. Crosses again in first time, looking for Stevens. Oh, a glancing header wide, just wide at the top corner of the angle there, in between two Bristol Manor Farm players, but he just can't guide it inside, and it's a goal kick. Did you do that as an effort? I forgot. I'm so used to doing it now. I've forgotten what. It's going to be a goal kick here for Bristol Manor Farm. So we've got a helper here now. So Tequila Shark wants to know: are we shooting from left to right? We're shooting from right to left. Stop asking the same question. Have you been drinking again, Tequila? I don't know. Ball's played forwards. Howe with the head away there. The referee says that's a foul to Slough. And it will be a free kick, which is just inside the Slough half. Mark Nisbet looks to take it quickly. So in towards Lee Togwell. Gets it back to Matt Stevens, but back towards Lee Togwell. Finds Josh Chapman on the right-hand side. And it's ball played in here towards Scott Davies inside the centre circle. Finding Mark Nisbet. Nisbet spreads it quickly to George Wells on this left-hand side. Faced by Troy Simpson, who's the only player, apart from the goalkeepers, wearing gloves this afternoon. Ball back over the top here for George Wells. Does well to keep it down on his chest. Little ball inside for Dobson. Dobson, edge of the box, just overruns it. Good challenge from the right-back Harvey. Bristol Manor Farm bringing the ball out here. Oh, just overruns it. And it's a foul by Scott Davies. And the foul on Jordan Metters. And it's Metters is down on the ground, injured here at the moment. As both players just stretched for the ball. He just caught him on the shin there. And Metters just coming to his feet slowly. Doesn't need any treatment. And just hobbles up. And it'll be a free kick to the visitors here once they get a football. Just inside their own half here, it's the captain, Steve Kingdon. He will take this free kick now with a high line about 7 yards outside of their 18-yard box. Ball played in too close to the goalkeeper. George Wells heads it away, and it's flicked on by Dobson. Heads it the wrong way. Sam Tugwell there for Slough, hooks it away. Only comes out to Ashley Kington, and played back out here to the left-back Robbins. Robbins has time to play the ball in. Stamp chases it, but just got a little bit too much on it, and runs through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner looking to get Slough on the attack quickly, but there's not many Slough players forward, so he'll just drop the ball at his feet. Simpson chases it down, but Turner with the clearance. Dobson flicks it off his back there, and it goes straight out of play for throw to the visitors. 10 yards inside their own half. And it's the right back Harvey who will take this throw. It's flicked on by Howe, only as far as George Wells. Oh, his ball across goes the wrong way, and then Josh Chapman leaves it for Jack Turner to take on the edge of his box. And then he rolls it out to Josh Chapman, the right back, who again being urged to bring the ball forwards down that right hand side. A lot of space for him. Cuts back inside towards Lee Togwell, being chased down by the number 11. Josh Chapman just keeping the ball in and plays it back towards his goalkeeper. Heavy ball for him to chase back there, but Turner gets there first for Slough. And Kingdon chests the ball there, only as far as Lee Togwell there. And Togwell with the ball forwards for Matty Stevens to chase. It's been taken well by Harvey, who's filling in for his centre-back captain. The ball played forwards. It's headed away by Sam Togwell. Intercepted by Davies, who slips as he does it. And then it's one back here by Kingdon, trying to find the run of Simpson. Josh Chapman coming in with it. Oh, a great challenge by there. Simpson there gets the ricochet across the goal, and then Wells clears. It's not the best of clearances, but Slough managed to clear the ball here in towards Dobson. Dobson finds Davies. Davies looks up, plays it back here for Dobson to chase. Dobson's travelled 30 yards without the ball. Now running with the ball down his left-hand side. Crosses first time. That's a great cross. Oh, it's almost an own goal in the end by Robbins there. Can we take that as a shot? Come on. Come on, don't be mean. We want that as a shot. In the end, Robbins guides the ball back to his goalkeeper there. Josh Chapman heads the ball away from the kick-out. Only as far as Robbins, the left-back. It's played in here towards Metters. Metters shaking off that little knock he picked up there, but plays the ball forwards a little bit aimlessly. Unfortunately, it goes right through to Jack Turner in the Slough. Oh, he kicks it out here to George Wells down this left-hand side. Wells looks up and tries to find Flood. Stevens can't get there. It's come through to Scott Davis on the centre circle spot almost, and finds Josh Chapman down the right-hand side. In towards Lee Togwell. Back here towards Davies. Davies chipping it out on the far-hand side to Dobson. Dobson takes it first time down up here against Harvey. Crosses in with his right foot. Oh, it's headed at work. Robbins again with two off the line. This time almost underneath his own crossbar. He manages to head it over the top of the bar, and Slough Really putting Bristol Manor Farm under the problem. Robert Richardson wants to know what's the score. Robert, you should come down and have a look at our spanking scoreboard. You'd know what the score is. It's Slough 1, Bristol Manor Farm 0. Good afternoon to Cliff Evans, who's listening in. And Slough have a corner. Come on. We've got a trainee here today, this afternoon. He's just slowly picking it all up. But don't worry, we'll sort him out. We'll get him trained up by the next home game. Dobson with a corner on the far hand side, so it's in swinging corner here for Slough. Play to the near post. It's flicked off the head there off Lee Togwell, and it's over the top of the bar and out for a goal kick. So we played coming up to 20 minutes here at Arbour Park. Slough lead 1-0 here with the goal from Matt Stevens on 10 minutes, firing in from 10 yards. That's the only difference between the two sides this afternoon. Tequila's having an Irish coffee at 10 o'clock in the morning. This sounds like most Slough fans, to be honest. We will just wait for Ben John to take this one. And it's a long ball in here. Headed away well by Mark Nisbet. Hooked clear, though, by Kingdon. Howe is onside, and he's got a chance to put a goal in. Oh, he fires wide at a goal, and Slough are too busy appealing for an offside. The linesman didn't give it on this near-hand side. And a chance there for Howe. Just finds a side netting, but it's 1-0 still to Slough here this afternoon, and Slough just got to be careful there. Robert Richardson says he's from Blythe. His team is getting beat 1-0, so he's got a bet on Slough to win. It's a good bet to have if you want to waste your money, that is. There you go. It's Jack Turner with the goal kick here for the Rebels. We'll try and keep you up to date with scores from the other games as well. Comes off the head of Simpson. It'll be a throw to Slough by the away dugout here, so roughly halfway inside the opposition half. George Vales trots across to take this one, and it's we're just waiting for a ball to come in. That's what stoppage. Quick throw by Wells, finds Dobson. Dobson back in towards Wells. Cross his first time. It's not the best of balls, and Kingdon gets there. Matt Stevens tries to get his body in the way. It's won here by Togwell, but he's seen off the ball. And Slough have got a really poor free kick given by the referee there. To be honest, I thought that was really good defending by Bristol Manor's Farm. It was actually by Dean Stamp, I think it was, who had the tackle on the edge of the box. I thought he won the ball cleanly, but the referee has said it's a free kick to Slough, and it's a good position for them. It's a central position just outside the D, a little bit left of centre. Dobson and Davies will be the two players standing over that for the Rebels this afternoon. And it's literally, it's going to be Dobson and Davies. One's going to hit it either left foot, one's going to hit it right. Ben John, the goalkeeper, just organising his wall here in quite a central position. He's gone more left side, as if it looks like it is Dobson that will take this free kick. George Wells has just come into the equation here, but I think let's just have a look. It's Davies or Dobson with this free kick for Slough. It's going to be Dobson that takes it, hits it hard and low at the wall. It rebounds here towards Simpson. Simpson's touch is a little bit heavy here, but it will keep the ball in and plays it down the line. And this time there is an offside against Mannings. And Slough trying to almost caught on the break there, but it's a free kick here to the Rebels. And Slough got to be really careful. That's the second time on the counter-attack that Bristol Manor Farm have almost got behind the Slough defence. And it will be Jack Turner to take this free kick for the Rebels, just signalling where he's going to put this ball. And plays it in here, looking for Stevens. Stevens beaten to the ball by Harvey, but Stevens, for some reason, is adjudged to have fouled. It looks a bit like 6 to 1 and half dozen of the other, but it's a free kick here, and I've got to say my hands are absolutely frozen. I think they've actually already gone purple. Tea? Yeah, well, I don't think tea's going to help at the moment, but you're going to go get a tea now? Yeah, go on, I've got the scoreboard, don't you worry about it. Ball's bouncing around the in the Slough half. It comes through here to Warren Harris. Harris running down the right-hand side, travelling 30-odd yards down this near-hand side. Cuts in here towards Flood, leaves it for Dobson. Dobson gets tackled on the edge of the box. That's more of a free kick than anything. Ball played out by Davis here for Stevens to chase. Puts the afterburners on, keeps the ball in here. Up on the left-hand side, gives the ball to Wells. Wells will find Scott Davies. Davies being forced a little bit further wide, finds Lee Togwell. Jackman on the overlap for Slough. Gets the ball here up against Stamp, who's a deep line player for... Oh, gets turns him and gets fouled there. And it's a free kick to the Rebels. And it's a free kick. Very similar to the position that Slough scored against Hungerford Town on last Saturday. It's just to the left of the penalty area, in between the corner of the penalty area and the sideline. So roughly 18 yards away from goal, but just in that little bit there. James Dobson is the player that's going to stand here and take this free kick. And Dobson whips the ball into the box. It's headed away well by Robbins, who's having a good game here. Oh, Nisbet tries to find Dobson with an eccentric ball. It's been cut out well by Metters, and then Stamp, where they loses the ball though to Sam Tugwell. Tugwell inside the bar, gives it towards Warren Harris. Harris breaks into the box. His block is blocked by Robbins again. Robbins, the left back, having an inspired game this afternoon. So it's gone out for a corner to the Rebels. Robbins has cleared 2 off the line and blocked 2 goal-bound efforts so far. And it's a corner to Slough, which Scott Davis is going to go across to take. Thank you very much for the tea there, young man. I'm just going to use it to warm my hands up, nothing else. And it's a corner on the far hand side that Davies will take. Plays it in short towards Dobson. Dobson just flicks it out to the edge of the box for Matt Stevens, who shoots. And that is high, wide, and like myself, not very handsome. It's 1-0 here still to the Rebels. That goal on 10 minutes is the only difference between the two sides here at the moment. Goal from Matty Stevens. But as of yet, not much going on here at Arbour Park. Quite an even game between the two sides here at the moment. As the referee's just... there's a stoppage here for an injury to one of... I think he's just doing his boots up, actually. So it's one of the players. It looks like Harvey, who I think was... I put him as the right back. It looks like he's playing centre-back alongside Kingdon. And it looks like Tovey, who wears 4, is playing a right back. So at the moment it's Harvey who's gone down here. Just changing his... or lacing up his boots here at the moment. Late score between Hungerford Town and Wealdstone in the Emirates FA Cup is 0-0. We'll see if we can find you some other ones. It looks like he's back on his feet. It's Oxford City 1, Dartford 0. As we wait for the referee to restart the game, this goal kick from the goalkeeper Ben John. And it's over the head of everyone. Simpson keeps the ball in. It comes through to Wells, who hooks it clear with his right foot. And they're trying to find Stevens. The ball bounces around and Harvey clears it. Hits Chris Flood. Flood gets a touch to it, looking for a free kick. Ball's here with Kingdon. Just overruns it a bit and Stevens wins it back for Slough. Ball comes out here towards Scott Davies. Plays it in. Oh, looking for Flood. Flood just stopped his run, unfortunately, thinking that the ball was going to go out of play. And it's gone out of play for a goal kick to the home side. Away side even. And it's 1-0 to Slough. We've played 27 minutes of the game so far. And have you still got the tannoy mic? Or have you lost it? Tannoy mic? Have you got it or lost it?
I've displaced that with Mr. Paul's.
All right. There you go. So the ball played forward here. Wells with the towering header to win it for Slough. Flood coming across here against Harvey. Harvey sees the ball out for a throw to Bristol Manor Farm. And the rain is getting a little bit heavier here at Arbour Park. And it's a throw here for Bristol Manor Farm. Tovey will take this for the away side. Just waiting for some movement. Trying to find Simpson. Headed by Wells away. Flood trying to get to it. It's off the head of Harvey. Flood pulls him back. The referee says no foul. And it's here with Dobson. Dobson does that little back flick again, which hits Tovey. Goes out of play for a throw. Quick throw though by Dobson finding George Wells. Wells being urged to cross the ball to the back post. It's headed away by Kingdon. Comes to the edge of the box to Manning. His header away finds Stamp. Stamp just clears the ball down the line. Here, taken well by Mark Nisbet on his chest and finds the ball back out here towards George Wells. Looks for Flood. Flood inside can turn. Back here towards Wells. In towards Scott Davis. Davis turns. Plays here towards Chapman. Chapman being urged to come down from that right back position. Running forward with the ball. Shoots from distance. It's the shot. It's bobbled by John. who had a clear view of it, but unfortunately for Slough, not a single Slough player trying to gamble on that, and that's the effort number 10 for the Royals so far in this first half. And the ball played forwards here, looking for Simpson. Simpson does well to flick the ball on, but it will run straight through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And immediately rolls the ball out here for George Wells to bring forwards. Chased down by Howe, in towards Flood. Flood just being followed, and he plays the ball back here towards Mark Nisbet. In towards Davies. Davies just turns away from the challenge of Simpson and finds Chapman. Chapman just allowed to run on forwards with this ball. Again, coming down that right hand side, travelling 20-30 yards, finds Warren Harris down that near hand side. Harris up against Manning. Harris needs a bit of help, comes from Scott Davies, who's 35 yards away from goal, plays the ball in, it's hooked clear, only as far as Lee Togwell. Oh, lovely little cushion header into the path of George Wells, and Wells crosses in. This time it's low, it's going to be hooked clear, finds Stamp. Stamp just plays it in, and Jordan Metters gets there first and finds Owen Howe. Back here towards Metters, he finds Manning on the left hand side here towards Robbins, the left back. Plays the ball forwards, looking for the run of Simpson, but Josh Jackman's there to head the ball out of play. It's out for a throw to the away side. And still 1-0 though, Slough with the majority of the efforts on target in this game so far. We're just waiting for a ball to come in before we see what's going on. And it's a quick throw in here. It's won by Josh Jackman for Slough, in towards Lee Togwell, finding Chris Flood, who's deep, and it's find Warren Harris. Harris with the ball down the field. Robin hooks it clear, gets a ricochet, comes through. Warren Harris tries to win the ball for Slough, comes through to Simpson, who finds it's hit the referee, but falls kindly to Simpson. In towards Stamp. Stamp forward, further forward, turns away from the ball, and Slough won it back, but it's come through to Simpson. Simpson's offside, and he kicks the ball away. How is that not a yellow card, referee? Simpson clearly offside. He just walked up the ball, hammered it straight out there. I don't think our match sponsor's going to be too happy. They've just gone to the bar, expecting the bar to be open, and it's not open unless they get special privileges.
Well, when you appeal for match sponsors now,
Well, this is it, yes. Yes, if anyone wants to sponsor a match and give us the juicy gossip of what you get for that, as we wait for Jack Turner to take this free kick for Slough, aimed towards Dobson. It comes on for the head of Harvey, and it's Tovey that heads it away, only as far as Scott Davis. He doesn't get the best of touches, but manages to find the ball towards Flood. Flood just evaded a couple of just a challenge there by Tovey, won the ball back here. And it's here with Tovey, who plays the ball down the field. Simpson does well to flick it off his chest. Sam Togwell here, or takes a ricochet off Owen Howers. Howe blocks the clearance from Togwell, but it finds its way through to Jack Turner safely in the Slough goal. And with 32 minutes coming up to be played, it's still Slough with this 1-goal lead. Turner chips the ball out here towards George Wells, so he goes back towards Turner, who plays it in first time, high in the darkening grey skies here at Arbor Park. Lee Togwell's there first for Slough to win the ball, and finds Josh Jackman. Jackman down that near hand side, plays it in for Stevens. Stevens evades the challenge of Robbins, got caught there, and that's a free kick to the Rebels. And they take it quickly here with Davies, who finds Wells down the left hand side. He's got Flood on the outside, cuts back inside, just overruns the ball, comes through to Flood, gets a ricochet towards Wells, and then Manor Farm managed to clear the ball here. It's here with Kington. He plays it out on the far hand side, looking for Stam, but it's got too much on it. Goes straight out of play for a throw to the Rebels, just inside their own half. Still remains 1-0 here to the Rebels. As a bit of wind comes across here, the commentary box getting a little bit wet with a bit of spray of rain. Ball's here with Mark Nisbet, finding the ball to George Wells. Wells inside towards Scott Davies. Davies inside towards Lee Togwell, under pressure from Stamp, gets the ball out really well to Josh Jackman down that near hand side. And Jackman cuts inside towards Dobson. Dobson inside towards Flood, gets it back towards Dobson. Dobson shoots from distance, but it's a daisy cutter, which unfortunately isn't much good on an artificial pitch because it doesn't need cutting. And it's gone wide of the goal and out for a goal kick. And it's still just 1-0 here at the moment between the two sides. And what's been a very close game in this Emirates FA Cup third qualifying round. John just rushing across to the other side of his box to take this goal kick for Bristol Manor. And it's the goalkeeper who clears as he's having trouble with his boots again. Comes through to Howe, and it's taken off him by Davis. Davis now finds Dobson. Dobson with a chance to run here at the defence. Plays it on the far hand side for Warren Harris. It's a good idea, but Warren Harris just couldn't stretch to keep the ball in. And it's gone out to play for a throw on the far hand side to the away side Bristol, and they're going to let the captain Kingdon come across to take this one. And Bristol's small band of supporters making a lot of noise behind the goal to our right here that Bristol Manor Farm are attacking. And it's thrown on here by Kingdon. It's been come off the head of Warren Harris in towards Davis. Davis just gets fouled there, and it's a cheap free kick for Slough to win. And Davis takes it, Togwell takes it. Sam Togwell takes it quickly towards Josh Chapman. Down the line here towards Warren Harris. Josh Chapman continues his run and gets the ball back here. Crosses in hard and low. And again, Robbins at full stretch gets to the ball and puts it out for a corner to Slough. And there's just one bloke over behind that goal to our right. Just I don't know what he's shouting. But he's getting behind his team. Unlike the Slough fans who are very quiet this afternoon. It's a corner to Slough. In swinging corner to be taken by James Dobson. And Slough with a little bit of movement here. Goes to the back post where Chris Flood heads it back across the goal. And Nisbet can't get a shot to it. He gets a touch to it but can't direct it goalwards. And it's out of play for a goal kick to Bristol Manor. 1-0 still after 35 minutes here at Harbour Park. So, Slough with the better of the chances so far this half. They've had 12 chances. Hi to Michael McGranahan. I hope I got your name right, Michael, because I'm really rubbish with names. But there you go. So, it's a goal kick here for our visitors. And it's John. Plays the ball forwards, looking for Howe. Howe tries to flick the ball on. Sam Togwell chases the ball back here, being chased down by Manning and gets it towards Jack Turner, who clears for Slough. Comes towards Flood, inside towards Davies. Davies looking for the run of Stevens. Well defended this time by the captain Kington. And he plays it out here in towards King Ton, who strips the ball back out on the left-hand side, looking for Manning. Manning chests the ball down, slips, but keeps hold of the ball under pressure from two Slough players, but plays it back towards Robbins, the left back, inside towards Metters, but well read by Lee Togwell. So now have the attack here at the moment, 4 against 4. It's Flood who's got Warren Harris down his near hand side, just feeds it in towards Warren Harris, plays it across, and this time it's cleared by Harvey. And now to play for a throw to the Rebels. Still got my cold at the moment, so that's why you hear a little bit of sniffling, unfortunately. But it's another corner to the Rebels, and again James Dobson is the player that goes across to take this for Slough. On that far hand side, it'll be an in-swinging corner here for the Rebels. This time played in near post. It's easily read though by Bristol Manor. It's played out here towards Josh Jackman, who's under pressure, finds George Wells. Wells chipping the ball back out, looking for Dobson. That's a lovely ball in towards Dobson, and Dobson's got a bit of space here now down this near hand side, up against Kingdon. Going to cross it in with his right foot. Does really well. Matt Stevens rises high and he gets high above all of the players, but just heads it over the top of the bar. And I don't know what's going on with James Dobson, but he scored with his right foot last week. He's just crossed it with his right foot. And James Dobson, who knew that James Dobson had a right foot apart from standing on it? So there you go, still 1-0 though to Slough. And John takes it short though to Kingdon, who slips as he plays it forwards, and Slough let the ball run all the way through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. Don't forget we will have our half-time quiz, which I can tell you this afternoon in honour of our visitors is Bristol based and FA Cup based. Dobson wins the flick on in towards Flood. Flood doesn't get the best of touches. It's won back by Ashley Kington, who plays the ball down the line here for Simpson. Simpson gets his head to it, but Sam Togwell's there for Slough, and Turner has to clear under pressure from Howe. And it comes through towards Stamp. Oh, Stamp's touch is heavy, and it's won back here by Lee Togwell. In towards Dobson. Dobson tries to turn. Harvey with the challenge on him. It's won back here with Dean Stamp, the number 9, who's playing a little bit deep here. Plays the ball over the top, but no one's made a run for Bristol Manor, and it's come through to Jack Turner, who rolls the ball out here towards George Wells. Being chased down here by the number 8 Simpson. Back inside towards Nisbet. Slough the ball in towards Dobson. Dobson's first time ball finds Flood. In a bit of space here. Back inside to Dobson. Dobson's got Wells on the overlap if he needs it. Crosses it in towards Stevens. Stevens trying to hold the ball up. Finds Flood on the edge of the box. Digs it out here towards Davis. Davis doesn't normally shoot. Shoots from distance. It's blocked. It's going to go out for a corner. Davis looking for a handball, but it's gone out for a corner. And Scott, just a reminder, Scott Davis is the only Slough Town player in the entire squad not to have ever scored a Slough goal. Turner got one in a penalty shootout, and Sam Togwell has one in a friendly, but not a single goal for Scott Davis, which we constantly remind him about. As Dobson takes this corner on this near side, it's an outswinging corner here for the Rebels. And again, Slough looking to make something from this corner. Goes into the far side. It's come to the edge for Warren Harris. He gets a shot in. It's blocked. Comes out here towards Simpson, who's missed it. Finds Jack Turner. Josh Chapman, in towards Dobson. Standing here, crosses it in. Unfortunately, it's too deep and goes straight out of play for a goal kick. And Slough just having a lot of efforts on target and whatever, but the shots are being blocked here by the Bristol Manor defence, who are defending well. Here, and it still remains 1-0 to Slough as we're into the 40th minute of the game. And it's John with the clearance for Bristol Manor, flicked on by Simpson, trying to find Manning. Manning on the far hand side, tries to flick the ball in here towards Stamp, who's made some space on that left hand side. Back in towards Manning, who's turned away, in towards Metters, back here towards Stamp. Stamp finds Kington. Kington skips past the challenge, plays out here towards Howe. He's got Tovey on his outside, but being closed down here by Davies, but managed to dig the ball in towards Tovey. Tovey crosses first time, and Jack Turner takes the ball under pressure from Troy Simpson. And it's an easy take for the Slough goalkeeper. And he's doing something with it. Ooh, what's he doing? Oh, he's pressed the button. Oh, ball played out here towards Stevens. Back in towards Josh Chapman. Finds Flood in a bit of space down there. Oh, tries to find Warren Harris, but well read by Kingdon, the captain, and it's played here with Harvey. Cross here towards Tovey. Tovey being pressurised by Slough. Ball comes through to the box. Oh, it comes through, and Warren Harris has the ball on the edge of the box here. Takes a touch wide. Cross it. Oh, he tries to feed it back in, but it's a stretch by Metters, who clears the ball, and it's here with Manning. Down the line here looking for Simpson. Headed away by Sam Togwell. Only as far as Stamp. Stamp plays it in towards Kingston. He just managed to keep hold of the ball, and then it's here with Jordan Metters inside his own half. Back here towards Kington. He finds Manning on the fight, just overruns the ball and gets a ricochet here to Bristol Manor Farm. Played in. Oh, Sam Togwell with a great challenge, wins the ball here and brings the ball out for Slough, leaving 2 players on the ground. And it's chipped forwards by Warren Harris, but Kingdon, the captain, is there for Bristol Manor. It's headed away by Josh Chapman, finding Warren Harris in towards Lee Togwell. Togwell now looks up and finds Dobson. He's got Wells on the overlap here. Being urged to bring the ball forwards is Dobson. Travelling 20-30 yards. Inside, back here towards Flood. He's got Warren Harris on the outside. Warren Harris is the man he finds. Down that near hand side. Crosses into the box. Stevens with a header. Comes back out. Oh, Dobson's shot is blocked by Tovey. And it's flicked away by Kington. And then it's a good play here by Bristol Manor Farm, but they're defending with their lives here at the moment. Ball play forward. Sam Togwell wins it back here for Slough. In towards Davies, finding George Wells. Wells down this left hand side again, being urged to bring the ball forwards. Finds Dobson in the central. Oh, he just nutmeg Stamp, running with the ball. Cuts by inside, back on his right foot. Oh, blocked by Robbins again. That's his 5th block he's made. Ball though won back by Lee Togwell, finding George Wells. Crosses first time. Stevens tries to get this, headed away. It will come out towards Lee Togwell, 30 yards away from the goal. Plays it in here for the run of Stevens. Stevens on the edge of the 6-yard box. Back in towards Warren Harris. Chips it in towards David. Oh, Dobson just couldn't get his body in position. But Slough playing some really good football here this afternoon on this slippery artificial surface. It suits their style of play, does it, when it rains. But unfortunately then they found that Bristol Manor Farm have thrown everything in the way, keeping the score down to 1-0. We're almost going to be coming up to half time here. And it's 1-0, but honestly some defending, especially from the left back Aaron Robbins, who's having a blinding game for Bristol Manor defensively, but it's still 1-0. And John with this clearance as the floodlights are on here. Howe flicking the ball on, only as far as George Wells for Slough. He plays it forwards, and it's cleared by Robbins. Headed back though by Nisbet, finding Flood. Flood with the ball behind here for Stevens to chase. Tovey comes across and gets the ball back towards his goalkeeper. Under pressure does John clear from Chris Flood, and it goes into the main stand here, and it's out for a throw to the Rebels. And it's around about 25 yards away from the goal. Quickly taken by Wells in towards Dobson. Wells gets the ball back, crosses first time. It takes a touch deflection, and Robbins there, but Warren Harris trying to chase him back here, but it's brought out here by Mannings. And Warren Harris has seen it back brilliantly. It's come off Warren Harris last, and it's a throw to Bristol Manor, but Slough working just as hard now to defend just before half time. And the ball played in here towards Simpson, back in towards Metters. Metters ball inside, finding Kington. Kington immediately under pressure, and Bryant the ball back out here to Tovey, the right back. Back into Kington. Has time on the ball. Plays on the far hand side. Slough looking for an offside, and it is an offside against Rex Mannings on the far hand side. And it's a free kick to Slough, which Slough will take their time taking. And it will almost certainly be the half time. We've got a minute of added time coming up here. And you pausing it? Or are you running it? There you go. There's a minute of added time. Wells with the ball forward. Stevens has made a bit of space here. Comes through to Stevens. Heavy touch by him. And it's gone past the goalkeeper. But a good ball played forwards by Slough. And Stevens just got the ball caught in his feet. And it's gone out of play. Currently 1-0 as we're into this added time here. And some of the Slough bar staff just making their way back to the bar. There's no alcohol being served, so you won't get many takers. Simpson does well, rises and flicks the ball on, but it's Josh Chapman again for Slough, who clears, finding Lee Togwell in towards Warren Harris. Harris coming down that right hand side, got Metters in front of him. Warren Harris crosses first time. Stevens gets it into the box, turns, has the ball at his feet, trying to make a bit of space, gets his shot in. It's coming out though towards Warren Harris. Harris with another chance to cross from that right hand side, takes a deflection off Metters, bouncing around, comes through to Flood. Flood's shot is blocked by Tovey, out here towards Stamp, and again Bristol Manor showing some great defensive play here this afternoon. Ball play forwards looking for Stamp, well run by Mark Nisbet here, and the referee says that that's half time here at Arbour Park, and it doesn't really tell the story, the half time score. It's Slough Town 1, Bristol Manor Farm 0, but Slough have had 16 efforts in this first half. Most of them have been blocked by Aaron Robbins, the left back for Bristol Manor, but Bristol Manor still in this game, although it is a very tight game this afternoon. So there you go. So don't forget, we've got our half-time quiz coming up for you in a second. Just waiting for the players to leave the pitch here at the moment. And I think the bloke who's been stood behind the goal. I'm fine. I've got one. Thank you. As the fan who'd been shouting behind the goal has made his way around. He's got a drum. I haven't heard the drummer. Have you heard the drummer? There's a guy with a drum. I haven't heard him. He's literally a one-man band. So there you go. So we're going to do the half-time quiz for you. We'll also give you some half-time scores from around the other games of the National League South as well. What?
John wants you on that as well.
Have I got to do the tannoy as well?
Yeah, you got to do everything.
I've got to do everything. Sticking a broom somewhere and sweeping the things later as well. Don't worry about that. Okay, let me just see what we can do for you here. What's I going to do? I was going to give you a half-time quiz, wasn't I? That's what I was going to do. Just bear with me for 2 seconds. I just need a final question for you, and then you can do that. Then you can go and have your half-time cup of tea. I'm just going to do that one there. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, half-time here at Arbour Park with the score Slough Town 1, Bristol Manor Farm 0, and you can see all the details of the stats as it comes through on our scoreboard. Okay, so I'll do the other bits in a second. Just going to try and find you a last question for you for this afternoon. So your half-time quiz will be this. So just waiting for it to load. When was the last FA Cup game for Slough on this date? So the 6th of October. When was the last FA Cup game for Slough on this date? So all you need to do is tell me. Just tell me the opposition. Actually, you can. That's an easy way of doing it. Who was Slough's last FA Cup opponent on this date? I can tell you it was 6th of October 2012. So if you were at the game, you might already know that one. If you were there, I know I was there. So there you go. So your other questions for the half-time quiz, which I've just turned over, which was really silly for me. Okay, so your half-time quiz. These are all Bristol-based facts here for you. So the question is, what year did Bristol City reach the FA Cup final? So that's, what year did Bristol City reach the FA Cup final? The next question, quite simple. Who did they lose to? Very simple. Who did they lose that FA Cup final to? Next question. Which local team to Slough beat Bristol Rovers in the first round proper in 2015 in the game played at Bristol Rovers? So there you go. So which local team to Slough beat Bristol Rovers at Bristol Rovers in the first round proper of the FA Cup in 2015? And then your last one. What year was the last time that the two Bristol City sides met each other in the FA Cup? So what year on with us today? The final whistle, after the final whistle, the bar will reopen with the selling of alcohol. And please note that it's a no smoking facility here at Harbour Park. And that means if you do wish to smoke or vape, you need to go to turnstile 1, which is on the left-hand side of the main stand, where you'll get a hand stamp from the steward, and that will allow you back into the grounds here this afternoon. Just a couple of things for you. Just to remind you that our match sponsors today are Royston's Building Services, and we like to thank Daniel and Josie for that. And also today's mascot is Freddie Birds, and it's his 10th birthday today. Thank you very much, Adrian. Right, so we've done the other job, so we're back to trying to figure out what we were going to do. We're going to give you some half-time scores for you. We just experienced a few little problems with the internet here, which I've just been sorting out at the same time for you, and I'll just keep doing that and realise that's the page that I want for you. So we won't read you out any of the scores from the Premier League, as we know that some of you like to watch Match of the Day without knowing that one. I can tell you that the afternoon kickoff is Manchester United versus Newcastle United. In the Sky Bet League, Sky Bet Championship, it's Birmingham 2, Rotherham 0. Full time was Leeds 1, Brentford 1. It's Middlesbrough 0, Forest 0. Millwall 1, Aston Villa 1. Norwich 0, Stoke City 1. Preston 1, Wigan 0. QPR 0, Derby 1. Sheffield United 0, Hull 0. Swansea 1, Ipswich 2. And West Brom 0, Reading 1. In Sky Bet League 1, it's Blackpool 2, Rochdale 1. Bradford City 0, Sunderland 1. Bristol Rovers 0, Walsall 0. Charlton 1, Coventry 0. Doncaster Rovers 0, Fleetwood Town 3. Luton 2, Scunthorpe 1. Peterborough 0, Barnsley 2. Plymouth 0, AFC Wimbledon 0. Portsmouth 0, Gillingham 2. Shrewsbury 0, Accrington Stanley 0. Southend 0, Oxford United 0. And Wickham 2, Burton Wanderers 0. Into Sky Bet League 2, it's Bury 0, Mansfield 1. Crawley 0, Cambridge United 1. Forest Green Rovers 1, Newport County 1. Grimsby 1, Port Vale 0. Lincoln City 0, Crewe 0. Macclesfield Town 0, Notts County 0. MK Dons 1, Cheltenham 0. Morecambe 1, Tranmere 2. Oldham 0, Carlisle 1. Stevenage 1, Colchester 1. Swindon 0, Northampton Town 0. And Yeovil 0, Exeter City 1. We'll give you the National League as well. That's the one that above us now. It's Aldershot 2, FC Halifax 0. Barnet 0, Solihull Moors 0. Barrow 2, Sutton United 0. Braintree 0, Eastleigh 2. Chesterfield 0, AFC Fylde 0. Dover 0. Salford City 2. Dover got rid of their manager midweek as well. Ebbsfleet 0, Harrogate Town 1. Gateshead 2, Dagenham Redbridge 0, Hartlepool 1, Borehamwood 0. Maidenhead 0, Leyton Orient 2. Maidstone 0, Bromley 1, and Wrexham 1, Havant and Waterlooville 1. Those are your other scores. Go see if we can find you some of the scores from the FA Cup involving other teams from the National League South for you. So just bear with us. Woking are 3-0 up in their game against Kempston Rovers. What else have we got for you this afternoon? Farnborough 0, Cheshire United 1. That's a league game. It's Gloucester City 0, Dorking Wanderers 1. That's an upset at the moment. Dorking Wanderers from the league below Gloucester City. In the FA Cup, it's Hitchin 1, Hastings United 0. Oh, skipped a couple there. Skipped a couple. What did we miss? Not a lot. Taunton 1, Frome 0 in the Southern Premier. And it's Hemel Hempstead 2, Ramsgate 0. In the FA Cup, Tiverton 2, Met Police 1. Yeah. Let's see what else we find for you this afternoon. Can't seem to find many scores coming through at the moment. But there you go. We're trying to find some for you. It's Hampton and Richmond 1, AFC Hornchurch 0. It's Hereford 0, Welling United 1 at half time. And they seem to be running out there. It's there you go. So those are your latest scores that we can find. So there you go. So we've still got to do the tannoy and whatever in the scoreboard a bit. So we'll bear with us while we do that as well. Just going to keep our eye on the internet connection here. Just been the weather seems to be affecting. If you are experiencing any buffering or anything, my apologies for that. Out of my hands, unfortunately. But if you would like to get in contact with us here at Rebels Radio, my name is Aid. Feel free to come through. Mega Dawn wanted to know the score. Dave Raynor kindly has answered that for him. It is half time here at Arbour Park, Slough, with that 1-goal lead. Goal coming from Matt Stevens on 10 minutes. But Slough have been fairly dominant in chances. They've had 16 efforts in total compared to the 3 from Bristol Manor Farm, but it is only 1-0. Michael McGranahan's got one of them right on our half-time quiz. Well done, Michael. Who did they beat, though? Who did they lose to? Sorry, who did they lose to? Come on, even you can get that one. It's quite an easy one. We've got some kids just running around here at the moment. And we're just seeing that the two sides are just about to start to come out for second half. So just going to keep an eye out to see if there are any substitutions for either side. So they start this Bristol Manor Farm just coming out first at the moment. So Slough substitute still warming up and aiming some pot shots at the Slough Town fans behind that goal. Slough will be shooting from left to right. David Randall's got the first question right. Who did Slough play on 2012 on this day, the last time that they played in the FA Cup on this day, 6th of October? So we'll give you those we'll give the answers to those quiz questions in a second. We're just going to keep our eye out to see if there's any substitutions from either side. As they're slowly coming out for the start of this second half. And if you do want to get in contact with us, contact us either on Twitter, it's at MyFC or Rebels Radio, or you can do so like many of you are doing on the comment section that comes through underneath the chat bit that you're looking at. So when you're watching it on YouTube thing, there's a thing that says comments. You do need to be a subscriber, but it's free to subscribe, so it doesn't take long. Just a username and password is all you need. See the Bristol Manor Farm management team are out for the start of the second half. Looks like just have a quick count up of their team. 1, 2, 3. No, they're all moving. Stop moving. 3, 6, 9, 10. Still waiting for one more to come out, I think, before we announce those sides. So we're just waiting to see. I think there's need one more Bristol Manor Farm player to come out before we give you that side. But as we are starting to get the players out for the start of the second half here at Arbour Park, I'll run through the quiz sides for you. So the question was, who did Slough play last time they played in the FA Cup on this day, 6th of October? David Randall got it right. They played Margate and Slough won that game 1-0 in 2012. Then the next question was, what year did Bristol City reach the FA Cup final? Well done to Michael for getting that right, 1909. They lost to Man United, which was the answer to the next question. Which local team beat Bristol Rovers at Bristol Rovers in the first round proper 2015? It was our good neighbours from Cheshire United. And what year was the last time that the two Bristol sides met in the FA Cup? They met on the 8th of December 1984. Lee Godding's on. He wants to know what Leo Godding's on, sorry. Also, it's 1-0 to Slough, Leo. We're just about to wait for the second half. I can tell you there's no changes to the Bristol Manor Farm starting 11. We're just going to keep an eye out on the Slough Town players coming out so we can give you that starting 11 for the two sides. So we'll start with the away side, Bristol Manor Farm. In goal is Ben John, 2 is Ian Harvey, 3 Aaron Robbins, 4 Stuart Tovey, 5 is Steve Kingdon, the captain, 6 Rex Manning, 7 Jordan Metters, 8 Troy Simpson, 9 is Dean Stamp, 10 Owen Howe, 11 is Ashley Kington. For the Rebels, there are no changes to the Rebels, so it's Jack Turner in goal, 2 Josh Jackman, 3 George Wells, 4 Sam Togwell, 5 is the captain Mark Nisbet, 6 is Lee Togwell, 7 James Dobson, 8 Scott Davies, 9 Chris Flood, 10 is the goal scorer Matt Stevens, and 11 is Warren Harris. Bristol Manor Farm will have the kick-off. We're just waiting to see if Jack Turner's coming out here. We do need a goalkeeper, so Jack's the only one not to come out so far for the Rebels. Here he comes. So no changes for either side at half time. We'll wait for the referee, Mr. O'Donnell, to get this second half underway. Slough will be shooting from left to right. And we're just waiting for the referee. Just as one of the players just doing his boots up here. And we're just for the start of the second half, which starts now. And it's Bristol Manor Farm with the ball here. It's here with the left-back Robbins. Played inside towards Metters, who looks like he's going to play a little bit deeper here. Little change of formation for Bristol Manor Farm here at the moment. And the ball's here with Metters. Just being forced back. People just coming through from picking up some food. And Howe just glides into Josh Chapman. Cleared by Mark Nisbet for Slough. And it's headed away by Robbins, flicked on though, and goes straight out of play by Mannings. And it's a throw to Slough, quickly taken here with Scott Davies. Davies twists and turns, finds the ball in towards Mark Nisbet. And Nisbet has the ball, plays it back out here towards Josh Chapman. He's in a bit of space down this near hand side. Cuts the ball inside here towards Lee Togwell. Looking for the ball through to Stevens. Stevens gets the ball, edge of the box, finds Dobson. Dobson shoots. And clears not only the goal, the stand, but the netting behind the stand, and most probably the entire town of Slough. It's gone out for a goal kick. Still raining here at Arbour Park. It's not heavy, but it's consistent is the rain that we'd like to say it was called. As we wait for the goalkeeper to get this game here with a clearance into these grey and skies. Howe comes to the ball, but Davies heads it for Slough. Comes through to Flood. Flood trying to flick the ball in for Stevens. Ball's been cleared. Comes to the edge here for Kington. Kington spreads it out wide to Tovey, the right back. Tovey under pressure, back in towards Kingston. Oh, it skips past the challenge of Davies, and then a poor ball. It means it's intercepted by George Wells here, and Wells down the line finds Flood. Flood challenged there, and It's one back here by Kington, who skips going the wrong way. Finds Metters inside here towards Harvey, the centre back. Back here towards Jordan Metters, trying to orchestrate here for the Bristol Manor, but it's hooked clear in the end. It comes through to Nisbet, who plays the ball, but intercepted again here by Metters, who this time plays the ball over the top looking for Simpson. Now appealing for an offside, doesn't come. Simpson trundling down that near hand side, gets a cross in. It's too deep though, and Stamp will chase to try and keep the ball in, which he does well. Back inside here towards Meadows, who looks for the ball, but Stevens gets there first and then just got caught there, and that's a free kick by Robbins. Must be the first thing he's done wrong all afternoon there. Just catches Stevens. It's a free kick though to Slough, 10 yards inside their own half. And Josh Chapman standing over this free kick for Slough. Thank you. And they're going to leave it actually for Jack Turner to take here at the moment. And Turner's bit of wind here at the moment. Ball comes right on the far hand side towards Wells. Wells here up against Toby. Toby does well to win the ball and brings it out here for Bristol Manor. Only intercepted by Scott Davis, who runs into Howe, but the ricochet comes here towards Sam Togwer. Finds Josh Chapman 10 yards inside his own half. Ball played forwards looking for Stevens. Stevens trying to get his body in the way, but it's played forwards here for the run of Howe. Howe coming down this left hand side, gets a cross into the box. It's hooked clear though by Mark Nisbet for Slough, and it goes out of play for a throw to Bristol Manor. Stamp standing over this throw, takes it quickly and finds his captain Kingdon. Kingdon under pressure, goes back towards the goalkeeper. Stevens almost intercepted it. Ball's here with the goalkeeper John. Looks up and spreads it in. It's a free header for Nisbet, who controls the ball well and finds Lee Togwell. Back here towards Nisbet, into Togwell again, finds Dobson. Dobson can turn back in towards Nisbet. Nisbet under pressure, finds Davies. Ball by Davies is poor. It's intercepted by Toby, the right back. Looking for the ball forwards, trying to find Simpson. Played away by George Wells. Good defending by him. Ball played in here towards Flood. Flood's got a bit of time to turn and run here at the Bristol Manor goal. Plays it out on the right hand side, finding Warren Harris. His ball is blocked by Manley. Gets into the box, still running with the ball, takes a shot. It's blocked on the edge of the box. Comes out here towards Davis. Davis tries to get a touch to it, but it's here with Rex Mannings down this left hand side, being cut back in by Warren Harris. In towards Metters. Plays it in towards Howe. Howe's touch is a bit short, but Stamp gets there first and evades a challenge. Stamp still running with the ball. Tries to dink through. Here towards Howe. Howe comes through. Shoots! And it's an equaliser for the visitors. It's Owen Howe. A mistake by Slough as they turned off again. And Howe puts the ball into the back of the net on 50 minutes. It's 1-1 here at Arbour Park. And Slough just beaten by the numbers of players coming forwards by Bristol Manor. They had 2 or 3 running onto that through ball behind the Slough defence. And again, Slough having a bit of a problem in the FA Cup this season at home. And it's 1-1 here. They're having trouble against teams from the lower ranks against them. But 1-1 here at... Have I got the mic? Equalising goal for Bristol Manor Farm comes from number 10, Owen Howe, on 50 minutes. There you go, I forgot we had to do that. I was getting so confused. Now with the kick-off here towards Josh Chapman. Chapman has time to find Warren Harris. Again, Slough got called out on, they're broken out. Slough fans now getting behind their side here, but the ball's with Sam Togwell here towards Nisbet, being chased down by Simpson, who's working hard for Bristol Manor Farm here. 1-1 here at Arbour Park. Turner with the ball. Finds the ball out here towards Wells. Wells can take the ball down. Again, Simpson chases. It's here with Lee Togwell. Togwell finding Mark Nisbet. Now just lacking a bit of movement here at the moment. And the ball played out here towards Josh Chapman. Chapman cuts back inside towards Davis. Davis plays out here towards Sam Togwell. Finding Mark Nisbet. Back here towards Davies inside the centre circle of his own half. Back towards Sam Togwell. Slough under a bit of pressure here as Bristol Manor are working hard when they haven't got the ball. And it's here with Josh Chapman. Slough got no movement up front here at the moment. And the ball back in towards Davis, towards Sam Togwell. Spread out wide to Mark Nisbet. Stamp has come forward to try and chase the ball down. He's played in here towards Dobson. Dobson's ball inside, sold a bit short, and it's a challenge by Tovey on the far hand side, chipping the ball forwards, but it goes straight out of play and a throw to Slough on the far hand side. Taken quickly by Wells in towards Davies. Wells gets the ball back. And it's here with Scott Davies, bringing the ball back outside towards George Wells. And Wells plays the ball forwards, looking for Warren Harris, headed away by Mannings. Comes through to Dobson. Dobson's ball just a little bit behind Stevens. It's one back here by Davis. He gets it through to Lee Togwell. Togwell finding Davis. Back flick him. Comes to far hand side where Wells has come through for Slough. Gets a cross in. It's just over hit and out of play for a goal kick. And Slough have started the second half rather poorly here at Arbour Park. Bristol Manor Farm getting back into this game here. And the goalkeeper being told by the referee just to hurry it up a little bit here. And just wonder if there'll be any movement off the bench for Slough. Long kick here by John. Just catches in the wind. And it's a free touch here for Owen Howe, who just gets bundled over by Lee Togwell. That's a foul by the Rebels. And I can see Neil Baker just looking rather anxious here at the moment. Not going for the Rebels here at the moment. And it's Kingdon, the captain, takes this free kick, aiming for Simpson. Bounces down here and finds Mannings. Mannings' ball back in, goes all the way across the 18-yard box, and Jack Turner has to get... Is he supposed to be in his box? Is he? I think that the Bristol Manor Farm's forgotten what the box looks like. Ball played up here towards Stevens. Stevens finds Dobson. Dobson plays it back in towards Stevens. A little bit behind him, but Stevens works well and finds the ball towards Togwell. Togwell lets it run across him and plays out here towards Warren Harris down his right hand side. Harris up against Mannings. Warren has been forced wide by Mannings, and Mannings plays the ball last. It's a throw to the Rebels. And does it look like it's going to be a short throw here towards Josh Chapman. Chapman takes it back in here towards Warren Harris. Harris back finding Dobson on this left hand side. Dobson shoots. Again, it's Robbins who sticks his body in the way and blocks the effort. Goes out of play for a throw to Slough. Quickly taken by Warren Harris finding Dobson. Dobson crosses in first time. Stevens is there. He scores, but it's judged to be a foul by Slough, and Stevens' goal is chalked off. And it remains 1-1, and the small band of Bristol Manor Farm fans behind that goal. I can see him drumming. He doesn't drum very often, and he's got a very small drum. But it's 1-1 here at Arbour Park at the moment. And it's Ben John, the goalkeeper, to take this free kick as it's suddenly come over really chilly here. The wind just come through. Sam Togwell wins the ball for Slough. Kept in by Warren Harris and finding Flood, but Flood can't keep it in. It's gone out of play here. And Slough looking very disjointed this second half. Very much like they did against Sholing in the previous round of the FA Cup here at Arbour Park, where they're not raising their game to the occasion. Ball comes into Simpson. Lee Togwell tries to get there first. Stamp plays the ball forwards. Sam Togwell with the header away. Stamp's there first for Bristol Manor. Hooked clear by Josh Chapman into the sky. Headed away by Stamp. Two Slough players go for it. Nisbet in the end has to clear the ball. Mannings with a header. Hits it straight at Togwell. Togwell just treads on the ball but finds Davies. Davies the ball over the top here for Stevens to chase. It skips off the surface and into the hands of Ben John, the Bristol Manor goalkeeper, who claims it just on the edge of his 18-yard box. And long clearance down the field again, looking for Howe. Howe trying to hold the ball up. Comes through to Davis. Hits him on the chest. Davis just turns into trouble and gets a little bit of luck with his thing. Wins a cheap free kick for a foul that I don't honestly think was there. But the ball's here with George Wells. Wells just, again, looking for an option that's not coming from the Slough team. The two deep behind the ball are Slough, and it's here with Davis. He finds Sam Togwell. Togwell into his brother Lee. Back here towards Sam Togwell. In towards Flood. Flood comes deep to pick the ball up and finds Lee Togwell. Again, he's on time on the ball. Finds Warren Harris in a bit of space. Harris cuts inside towards Flood. Flood trying to play the ball out. Comes out here towards Josh Chapman. Lucky Rixay in towards Flood. Ball back in towards Warren Harris. Harris comes down the right hand side. Plays it in, and it's a corner to the Rebels. And James Dobson is the player that goes across to take this corner for Slough. Getting rather windy and quite a cold wind coming across our commentary position here at the moment. Dobson with this corner. It's on the near side of the main stand. So it's an in-swinging corner here for the Rebels. Played into the far post. Oh, it's over the head of Chris Flood and goes out of play for a goal kick. And they seem to have extended the manager's box here. I don't know if he's give him a tin of paint. He can paint his own line, I think. And it's a goal kick, which we're waiting for the goalkeeper to rush across to take. And with it being 1-1 now, Bristol Manor in no real hurry to take this goal kick. And it's Ben John with this goal kick for Bristol Manor. Wind just dies down. It's flicked on by Howe. Comes through, and then Josh Jackman's there first for Slough. Over the top here, looking for Flood. Headed away by Harvey. Flicked on by Tovey, but only as far as... there's a poor challenge there by Harvey, who just caught Chris Flood. And that's woken a few people up here at Arbour Park. Sliding challenge by Harvey on Chris Flood. And the first time the referee's been called to do any kind of... disciplinary officiating here, and it's Flood is okay. He's up on his feet, and I think the referee is just going to give him a talking to here, and it's no, it's the first yellow card of the game. There you go. What do I know? There's it's a yellow card here. So first yellow card of the game, just flashing up on our lovely, fantastic scoreboard. And it goes to Ian Harvey. And that's on 58 minutes. And it's a free kick here for Slough. 35 to 40 yards away from goal. James Dobson standing over this free kick for the Rebels. And again, Slough been a little bit flat here this second half. Ball played in. Comes through across the box. It's cooked clear by Kington and comes through to Jordan Metters, who plays the ball forward looking for Mannings. Mannings holding the ball up well. Trying to flick it in to Simpson. Simpson gets a touch to it. Wells is there for Slough, and it's a free kick against Wells for a high foot. And it's a free kick for Bristol Manor Farm. And Peter Gill's just listening and just got back from work. And it's a free kick here, 30 to 35 yards away from goal here for Bristol Manor. It's Jordan Metters standing over this free kick. And their fans behind the goal making a little bit of noise. But Slough are very quiet here at the moment. This is Metters standing over. 3-man wall here for the Rebels. And don't forget, if this game does finish... even at the end of 90 minutes, and it will go to a replay. Metters with this free kick played in and bouncing around off the head there. It's an offside on the far hand side against Bristol Manor. Jack Turner wants to try and take it quickly here, but it's Tovey with the clearance, and you will see a substitution for Slough. It's going to be the ball out on the far hand side to George Wells. Wells back in towards Jack Turner. And Turner plays the ball down here looking for Flood. Flood trying to get a flick on. It comes off the head of Robbins, who heads it back to his goalkeeper. Robbins having a very good game at left back here for Bristol Manor Farm. And it looks like Fraser and maybe Ben Harris are the two players who are going to come on here for Slough. Ball played forward. It's come to Sam Togwer. Takes it down on his chest and brings it into the path of Warren Harris. Harris with a chance to come down his right hand side. Stamp the only player following. Ball gets crossed in. That's cleared out by Kingdon. And back here towards Warren House, but Stamp gets there first. Sam Togwell with the header away. It's over the head of Lee Togwell. And comes through here towards Davis. Davis shrugged off the ball, though, by Ashley Kington, who plays the ball looking for Howe. But well spotted by Mark Nisbet, who finds George Wells. Ball play forwards here, and Tovey with a really good defensive header. And you'll see the first substitution of the day. Coming off is Scott Davies. And coming on is Sean Fraser. And that's on 61 minutes for Slough. So Sean Fraser on, and Scott Davies is the player off. I didn't know you had the players on there. Oh, I didn't see that. So there you go. So the first substitution of the game goes to the Rebels. That's Sean Fraser on for Scott Davies. That means that Sean's going to play centre midfield. Quick throw in by Wells into Togwell, and Wells plays it into the box. Flood tries to flick it onto the far post. Warren Harris plays it across. He's offside, and in the end it was a good challenge by Harvey anyway on Stevens, but it was offside anyway. And it's a free kick here to Bristol Manor Farm. We played just over an hour gone. It's still 1-1 between the two sides, and Slough stuttering against lower league opposition again here at Arbour Park. As John's clearance catches in the wind. Free header for Sean Fraser, but only as far as Kington, who plays the ball in. Slough trying to win the ball back here, and Fraser gets there first. In towards Flood. Flood finds Lee Togwell. Togwell spreads it out here to Dobson on the left-hand side. Dobson looks up, crosses first time. It's over the head of everyone. Warren Harris cooks the ball back in. Comes through to Flood, who shoots, and it's bouncing around, and Slough got a second. I'm not sure who's going to take the credit for it, whether it's Flood or Stevens, but it looks like everyone's gone towards Chris Flood. Do you want me to do that? Second goal of the afternoon here in the Emirates FA Cup goes to Chris Flood. Today's attendance, ladies and gentlemen, is 481. 481. Thank you all for coming on this wet afternoon. Alright, so we've done the Tanno, we're back with you. So Slough scored there with Chris Flood being the goal scorer on 62 minutes. Gives Slough a 2-1 lead here at Arbour Park. I'm sure that Matt Stevens might try and claim the last touch, but the shot from Flood across the goal, their first real effort of the second half, and they've got the lead back here. Nisbet takes this free kick for Slough quickly in towards James Dobson. Here finding George Wells. Inside to Sean Fraser. Fraser playing the ball forwards here towards Togwell. Lee Togwell playing a little bit more forwards. Chasing off the ball though by Tovey. Ball played in here to Kington. Ball played here looking in towards Howe. Howe turns. He's got Manning on one side, Simpson on the other. Plays it in towards Simpson, and Jack Turner has to come rushing off his line to get to the ball first for the Rebels. And it's here with Jack Turner, who plays the ball down. Sean Fraser's flicked it on back into the path of Dobson. Dobson inside here towards the goal scorer Flood, finding Lee Togwell into Warren Harris. Warren Harris down into the box, leaves it across. Oh, everyone's left it, and unfortunately it's Stamp, the player who can clear for Bristol Manor Farm. Ball played out here to Kington, who looks for the ball forwards, catches in the wind here that Bristol Manor are playing against. Cushion header by Fraser in towards Wells. Gets the ball back to Fraser to Wells, and Wells coming down this left hand side. Inside towards Stevens. Stevens got a bit of space here to look to shoot. It's blocked by Kingdon again, who goes down. That one might have hurt him a little bit. It's out for a throw though to Slough. And it's a throw quickly taken by Josh Chapman in towards Flood. Chapman gets the ball back, just overruns the ball, and it's hooked clear by Manning over the head of Howe. And Nisbet plays it back towards the goalkeeper Turner, who lashes that ball clear. That'll go out of play for a throw. And it's going to be a throw on the far hand side for Bristol Manor. And it's Tovey to take the throw on that far hand side, 10 yards inside his own half. Flicked on by Simpson, but heads it the wrong way past Howe. And Sam Togwell wins it here for Slough. In towards Josh Jackman. Plays the ball forwards looking for Stevens. Stevens just beaten to the ball by the captain Kingdon. Here towards the left back Robbins. Robbins bringing the ball forwards. Plays it in here towards Stamp. Stamp chipping the ball in towards Howe. Howe trying to turn and shoots. Oh, he gets a glorious chance to shoot. Slough again appealing for an offside. But Howe he hit it with the outside of his boot, and it just curled away from the goal. It was a really good opportunity for him to get his second goal of the game and get an equaliser for Bristol Manor Farm. And I don't think he realised he had that much time. Slough were too busy appealing for offside, which it wasn't given, and it's a goal kick here to the Rebels. The Slough management team just having a word with their defence, saying that they've got to concentrate a bit more. As Turner takes this kick, gains in the wind. Stevens flicking the ball off to his back. Headed on by Hart. Well, doesn't get the best of touches, but it does go through to John in the Bristol Manor goal. And this time he plays the ball for. Howe does well to flick the ball on towards Simpson. Simpson flicks it on, but there's not a player there. Howe looks at the referee saying, why am I not getting a free kick for that? But the referee is not... he's letting the game flow here as a referee, Mr. O'Donnell. Ball's here with Jack Turner. Plays it in. Headed away by Toby. Can't keep his header in place. Out of play for a throw to Slough on the far hand side, just inside their own half. Wells takes it, finding Mark Nisbet. Nisbet happy to have the ball. Slough Town fans finally make some noise here. Back into Togbo, plays a 1-2 with Nisbet. Nisbet will go back towards his goalkeeper Turner. And Turner will just wait for an opposing player to chase him down before kicking the ball out. Aimed here towards Flood. Flood flicking the ball, comes off the back of Kingdon, the Bristol Manor captain, and Mannings can't keep the ball in play. And his touch lets it go out for a throw to the Rebels by the home dugout. Taken quickly by Warren Harris in towards Fraser. Back here towards Josh Chapman. In towards Lee Togwell. Back here towards Chapman. Chapman's ball inside. Just runs out of play. And it's a throw to Bristol Manor by the home dugout here at Arbour Park. And it's going to be... they're going to leave it for Robbins to take this throw. And Robbins trying to take it down here. It's Josh Chapman who comes across and clears it. Goes back out of play for another throw to Bristol Manor. Again, Robbins takes it and throws it towards Stamp. Stamp's got time on the ball here, but just runs into a couple of players. The ball ricochets towards Manning, who turns into trouble, but it's won back by Simpson. Here with Stamp, just overruns. Oh, Lee Togwell, great interception by him. Inside towards Dobson. Dobson needs a bit of help on the left-hand side. Comes from George Wells. And Wells will look to switch the play in towards Togwell. Lee Togwell chests it down into the path of Fraser. Fraser immediately finds James Dobson on that far hand side. Dobson goes back towards George Wells. Wells back in towards Dobson. Dobson cuts inside, running with the ball. Plays it in here towards Stevens. Stevens and Harvey tangling. It's one back here by Kingdon, the captain. Played the ball forwards, but intercepted by Mark Nisbet, who finds Lee Togwell. Togwell cuts inside here towards Dobson. Dobson shoots from distance, and it forces a really good save at stretch from Ben John in the Bristol Manor goal. His positioning was really good for that shot, though, but shot from 30 yards from... Did you put that on? You did. I didn't see you. Sorry, I let you off. And it's here with the goalkeeper, Ben John, who's ball down almost, plays it towards the referee. Josh Chapman there with the first touch. Finds... Lee Togwell, kept in well by Warren Harris. Harris back in towards Lee Togwell. Lee Togwell having a much better second half now since Fraser has come on. And Robbins comes across to ease that ball out for a throw to Bristol Manor. We've played 69 minutes, so 21 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on. So we're just over the halfway mark of this second half. And it's the captain Kingdon who goes across to take this throw for Bristol Manor. Aimed in there, headed away though well by Warren Hatch, chested down by Flood. Flood's got a chance to turn here and run at the Bristol Manor defence, trying to play it in towards Togwell. Oh, Lee Togwell gets through, plays it in, oh, it skips across the face of the goal. Well, if he'd have put that in, that could well have been the game. But since the introduction of Sean Fraser, Lee Togwell has been playing a lot more further forwards for the Rebels, and he's having a far better influence on the game for Slough here. We just see Ben Harris just walking past our position here. Ben just on the bench here this afternoon, missing last week's game. And it's going to be a goal kick for Bristol Manor. The goalkeeper John to take this. And he's just taking his time here. Then waits for the wind to drop a little, but gets his kick down the field. Simpson tries to get there, headed away by Nisbet. Ball ricochets kindly for Stevens, being fouled by Harvey, but Kingdon comes across and plays out. It's got to be out for a corner surely, and it is. It's a corner here to the Rebels. Corner number 7 for the Rebels. The visitors yet to have a corner so far in this game. And it'll be Dobson to take this corner on the far hand side at the St Joe's end. So this will be an out-swinging corner here for Slough. And it's played in with some pace. Come off the head of Harvey, and it'll go out for a throw to Slough right by the corner flag on this near hand side. And Sam Togwell will come across to put a long throw into the box here for the Rebels. And Sam Togwell just waiting for a bit of movement here. And just still waiting for some movement. Just plays it short in the end to James Dobson. Dobson's cross inside the box, finds Nisbet. Nisbet trying to turn away. Ball's going to bounce around here. It's hooked clear in the end by Robbins. And Josh Chapman just being backed into there, but his header comes and finds Kington. Kington just runs into Nisbet, but turns away from him. Good play and finds Tovey down the right-hand side. The right back advances forward. Back in here towards Kington. Chipping the ball out, looking for Mannings, but it's well intercepted by Josh Chapman, who finds Lee Togwell. Togwell turns and finds Fraser. Fraser with a little bit of a hair growth on his chin today. Turning well. Back outside here towards Flood. He's appeared on the left-hand side. He's got Dobson in front of him. Finds Dobson. Dobson, little flick in. It's a poor flick, but it's won back by Sean Fraser. And Dobson gets a second chance to play back in. In towards Flood. Back in towards Dobson. Dobson comes around. Tries to get across it. It's blocked by Tovey. And it's hooked clear in the end by Bristol Manor. But Lee Togwell's there to win it back for Slough and finds George Wells. Wells will come down this left-hand side. Crosses first time. In towards Flood. He wasn't expecting it. Tins in towards Stevens. Stevens dives down in the box. Comes towards Flood. Heavy challenge goes in. Ball bouncing around here. And it's Metters with it for Bristol Manor. Chips out here towards Manning. So they've got to be careful here. Manning's got a bit of space to run down this left-hand side. Warren Harris and Josh Jackman standing there. And it's a foul by Josh Jackman. Obstruction against him. It's a free kick. And he gets a yellow card. As well does Josh Jackman. And a yellow card for Jackman on 73 minutes. The referee very quick to show that yellow card. And Kingdon, the Bristol Manor captain, is going forwards for this one. He hasn't really gone forwards for many of these free kicks. Standing over it is Ashley Kington. And the free kick too close to the goalkeeper. It's well taken by Jack Turner in the Slough goal. Just got to be careful. He's got a Bristol Manor player behind him. He's just aware of that one. Looks like there'll be a second substitution for the Rebels here this afternoon. And the ball's here with George Wells into Sean Fraser. Fraser back in towards Mark Nisbet. Nisbet just bringing the ball here and finds James Dobson. Dobson just lets the ball run across him. Chance to run at Tovey down this left-hand side. Goes past Tovey as he leaves him on the floor. Dobson skips past him. Plays the ball in. Dean Stevens is there. He's hit the crossbar. Ball bouncing around. It was offside anyway. It was offside. And it's a free kick here though. Stevens sliding in there. Just got a touch to it. Looks as though Ben Harris will be the substitution for Slough. Ball in towards Howe. Howe's touch is poor. It nicked off him by Sean Fraser. Finding Warren Harris. Inside towards Flood. Flood just a lazy ball in. It's been won back here by Bristol Manor. Flood chasing his own little knockdown. Just pushes him in the back though. That's a silly free kick to give though by Chris Flood. And it looks as though that will be the end of Chris Flood's game this afternoon. Substitution is Ben Harris coming on. And Chris Flood is the player coming off. Substitution on 75 minutes. So I've got to do the tannoy as well. Second substitution of the afternoon for Slough. Coming off is Chris Flood. Replacing him, number 18, Ben Harris. I've totally forgotten that we were doing the tannoy this afternoon. And we'll get there. What a motley crew we are. when Slough Town's tannoy and match day stuff is in the hands of Mr. Thomas and myself, then it's a poor state of affairs for any football club. There's just a break here because the goalkeeper for Bristol Manor, Ben John, is just doing his boots up here and he's got to put his gloves on. So a little stoppage here at the moment. So just a reminder that with 75 minutes now gone on the scoreboard, it is Slough 2, Bristol Manor Farm 1 is the latest score. And we're still waiting for the goalkeeper just to put his gloves on here before he takes his free kick. It's just not the ball 10 yards, and the referee has spotted it. As has the linesman. The linesman telling him to come back to take it from... so he just, as he was putting his gloves, each time he put a glove on, he sneakily kicked the ball a few yards forward. Well spotted by the referee's team here. And John finally takes this free kick. Again, catches in the air. Howe underneath it. Tries to chest the ball down. High foot from Simpson, but it's clipped by Lee Togwell. Stevens can't get a touch to it. Comes out here towards Nisbet. Nisbet finds George Wells. In towards Dobson down this left-hand side. Dobson looks up, crosses the ball first time, looking for Stevens. Over the head of him, and it's taken by John one-handedly. And he just has the ball on the edge of his 18-yard box. And long kick into this grey sky here. Headed away well by Nisbet. In towards Lee Togwell. Togwell's ball ricochets here towards Ben Harris. Ben Harris wins a cheap free kick here. And again, Slough want to take the free kick quickly, but Kingdon, the captain for Bristol Manor, has taken the ball away. It's a free kick for Slough. Taken quickly by Slough by Sean Fraser. In towards Josh Jackman. Jackman finding Warren Harris down this right-hand side. Harris got Josh Jackman there if he needs him. Jackman crosses the ball in. It's a bit too close to the goalkeeper, who drops the ball. The referee didn't blow for a foul. Was he going? Was he going with the thing? He wants the board. I think he wants the board. They're going to make a substitution in a minute at Bristol Manor. And the ball played forward, catches in the air again. Josh Jackman underneath it for Slough, trying to play it into the path of Ben Harris. But it's here with Robbins, who's had a very good game for the visitors this afternoon. Ball come back towards John in the goal. Played forwards for Stamp. Stamp controls the ball well, just manages to turn and skip past a couple of players. Sean Fraser challenging him and going with him. Stamp goes there, but Sean Fraser has won it back for... how is that a free kick? He's given a foul against Sean Fraser for being kicked. And you're going to see the first substitution for Bristol Manor. Coming on is number 12, Pete Shepherd, for number 6, Rex Mannings. We've got to do the tannoy, so just bear with us for a second. First substitution of the afternoon for Bristol Manor Farm. Coming off is number 6, Rex Mannings, replaced by number 12, Pete Shepherd. And you can see it's a lively afternoon here when Mr. Thomas is yawning as he's doing the scoreboard here. Ball played into the box. Oh, Slough made a mistake! And how does it in? It's an equaliser! The softest goal you will ever see! A mistake between Sam Togwell and the goalkeeper Jack Turner. Owen Howe had the easiest of options of putting the ball into the empty net. It's 2-2. And what a mistake by the Rebels. It's a poor defensive mistake. Nobody called for the ball. And then both missed it. And all he did was Owen Howe. He had to turn. And all he did was put the ball into an empty net. That is one of the poorest mistakes from a team that have done really well in September. Defensively, keeping clean, 3 clean sheets. But again, for the second FA Cup game in a row, Slough have let a goal lead slip against opposition. It's 2-2 again. Slough have got to do it all again. Just 11 and a half minutes to go, or otherwise this game is going to a replay. The ball played outside here by Fraser in towards Dobson. Dobson inside, finding Wells. Wells can bring the ball in here. Played it back in towards Dobson. Dobson trying to play it back in towards Wells. Wells can back in Dobson. Dobson plays it in to find Stevens. Stevens hurries his ball out towards Wells on the far hand side. Wells crosses first time. Ben Harris tries to get there. It's just missed by all of them. It goes out of play for a goal kick this afternoon. Good afternoon to William Hing, who's listening in Spain. And Slough making it so very hard for them today. Bristol Manor Farm, they started the second half really well, but when that second goal went in for the Rebels, they kind of knocked their sails out. But Slough have gifted them one of the softest equalisers you will ever see. There are going to be FC video highlights. Goal clips will come to you first, and then there'll be match highlights as it comes off the head of Owen Howe. How is that a free? He's just given a throw to Slough. Ben Harris trying to here at Arbour Park, as Slough have done it again in this FA Cup. They're certainly making this a very hard themselves here this afternoon. James Dobson to take this free kick. Dobson takes it in swinging free kick, playing into the box, bouncing around inside, trying to get there. It's hooked clear in the end by Harvey, only as far as George Wells, who plays the ball back out. Not the best of touches. Nisbet tries to get there, hits Kington, and Warren Harris can't get there, but the ball's here with Mark Nisbet, finding Sean Fraser. Fraser looks up, plays it in here towards George Wells. Wells being chased down by Howe, who's got 2 goals here this afternoon. Volleyed clear by Harvey. And it's played forward by Slough, headed away by Metters. Lee Togwell tries to get there first, just eased off the ball. Stam plays the ball forward. Sam Togwell this time chests the ball down and finds Nisbet. Nisbet inside towards Sean Fraser. Back out here, and it takes a deflection in towards Lee Togwell. Togwell in finding Stevens. Stevens' ball is poor again. It's so short. One back there by Sean Fraser. Back in towards Stevens. Stevens skipping past the challenge. Ball will come clear. It's gone out for a throw to the Rebels. Sean Fraser takes it quickly, finding Dobson. Dobson on this left-hand side at the moment. Dobson crosses in, headed away well by Robbins, only as far as Kington. Kington flicking the ball on. Josh Jackman's there first for the Rebels and plays it back out here towards Dobson. Again down this right-hand side. Dobson cutting this side, still with the ball. Takes a shot. Oh, he hits the crossbar. What a shot that was. Ball comes back out here towards George Wells. He takes a shot. It's blocked in there. Slough calling for a penalty. Ball bouncing around. They're looking for a free kick. Ball's here with Kingston. He clears. Only as far as Nisbet. That shot from Dobson from 25 yards hitting the crossbar. Goalkeeper beat it, but still hasn't gone in the back of the net. Ball with Lee Togwell. Togwell finding George Wells on the left-hand side. Wells trying to play the ball into the box. It's been hooked clear. Only as far as Kingston. Oh, lovely little ball finds Howe. Howe now trying to hold the ball up here for Bristol Manor Farm. Down this near-hand side. He's got Josh Jackman chasing with him. Jackman gets a touch too, but still has the ball with Howe. Howe trying to a hat-trick. Trying to make it on his own. He shoots. It's well wide of the goal from Owen Howe. But Slough coming close. They've hit the crossbar twice this afternoon. And Turner takes this goal kick quickly. Finding Stevens. Stevens has time to control the ball. Finding Warren Harris. Harris finds Ben Harris on the right-hand side. Ben Harris here trying to play the ball in. Gets a ricochet here towards Warren Harris. Dobson's here in there close. The ball played in. It's going to be hooked clear by Harvey. Can volley the ball clear for Bristol Manor. Underneath it is Sam Togba. Gets a touch to it, can't keep it in. It's out of play for a throw to the visitors. Have come back from a goal down twice here. Slough making this FA Cup journey extremely hard. If it stays like this, it will mean there will be a replay on Tuesday evening away to Bristol Manor at the Creek, unless in these last 7 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on that something, it looks like Slough going to make a third and final substitution. Ball's been flicked on here by Simpson. Josh Jackman gets there first. Not the best of clearances by him. He gets a second touch on it. It's out of play for a throw, and the substitute Shepherd will take this throw. Trying to find Simpson. Simpson trying to shield the ball in the corner here. Plays it back out here towards Shepherd. Shepherd trying to turn. Just runs into trouble. Plays it out of play. It's out for a throw to Slough deep inside their own half. And it's going to be Ben Harris flicking the ball on here, trying to find Stevens. Stevens letting the ball come across it, being chased down here by Kingston. Stevens goes through. Ben Harris trying to go through. Stevens and Kingdon going down, and it's a free kick here to the away side, Bristol Manor. And they're going to let the captain Kingdon be the player that takes it. And again, the Slough fans are very quiet behind that goal. My hands are absolutely freezing here. Kingdon with this free kick, aimed long towards Simpson. Sam Togwell heads the ball away, flicked on by Shepherd, only as far as Sean Fraser, who plays it in towards Stevens. Stevens takes it down really well. Just being forced wide, plays it back out here towards George Wells, down the left-hand side. Wells bringing the ball forwards here. Wells coming all the way down the left-hand side. Got Dobson inside him if he needs him. Gets a cross in. Stevens tries to get... Oh, it's been missed hit. And it comes off Shepherd. It's got to be a corner, surely. And it is. It's a corner to the Rebels. And the Bristol men are not happy. You're going to see a third and final substitution for Slough. And they're going to do it now. Warren Harris coming off. Louis Saws coming on. Third and final substitution for Slough Town this afternoon. Coming off is Warren Harris. Replacing him is number 15, Louis Saws. That's the third and final substitution for the Rebels. Saws will immediately go into the box here. It's going to be James Dobson with this swinging corner here this afternoon. Can Slough get a last gasp winner here? The ball played into the box. Bouncing around, headed away, comes to the edge of the box, Saws it as he takes it. Takes the first touch, shoots it wide of the goal though, hits it with the outside of his foot, and it's out of play. So Saws is the player on 85 minutes, replacing Warren Harris. And it's going to be John, the goalkeeper, to take this goal kick. He will take his time with this one here. 2-2 is the score here. And the ball played out here, catches again in the wind, comes off the head of Louis Saws in towards Lee Togwell. Togwell spread it out here towards George Wells. Wells seeing a lot of the ball down this left hand side in towards Dobson. Dobson just immediately surrounded by a couple of players, finds Fraser. Fraser's ball, lovely ball inside here towards Wells. Wells has got a chance to come down this near hand side, crosses. Oh, it's not the best of crosses. Slough looking for a penalty, it's not been given. Dobson tries to get a touch to it, comes through to Fraser. Fraser beaten to the ball by Stampin. It's here now with Simpson. Simpson lashing the ball down. Sam Togwell better to it and equal to it this time, plays it out here towards Swords down this right hand side. just being forced wide, chipping the ball down, looking for the run of Stevens. Good ball into the box. Stephen controls the ball. Out here towards Ben Harris. Ben Harris shoots. Oh, he tries to curl it into the top corner, but only curls it towards the corner flag. Effort number 23 for the Rebels this afternoon. They have hit the crossbar twice, but it is 2-2. And at the moment, it's a trip down to the Creek, home of Bristol Manor Farm at the moment for the Rebels on Tuesday evening. That means my pub day at work is cancelled. Great. And it's Ben John, the goalkeeper, with this goal kick here for Bristol Manor Farm. 2-2. Come back twice. Ball catches in the wind again. It's flicked on by Kington, only as far as Fraser. Fraser dawdles on the ball. Here with Shepherd. Shepherd playing it in towards Simpson. Simpson just can't get there. And George Wells was first to the ball for Slough. In towards Dobson. Dobson turned. Little flick in. Played it over. Lovely ball into the path of Wells. Saws, and Saws just couldn't take it. It skipped back. And it's out of play for a throw to the visitors this afternoon. Ben Harris trying to hurry them up here a little bit. As Bristol Manor eating the clock down here at the moment as this thing just waits down. Robbins will be the player that will take this throw. The referee just letting a little bit of time wasting go on here. Robbins to take this throw for Bristol Manor. Gains a few yards. Stamp trying to get this. Comes off the head of Saws. D. Tugwell with the header forwards. The ball played forwards. It's going to come here towards Nisbet. Nisbet gets a touch. Then Howard caught Nisbet. It's a free kick to the home side. Taken quickly here by Sam Togwell, finding Sean Fraser. Fraser orchestrating from midfield here. Chips the ball out here towards Josh Jackman in the right back position. Back across here towards Mark Nisbet. Slough with plays forwards, but again no movement. It's played out here towards Josh Jackman. Jackman's got Saws had made a good run inside, but not picked up. Ball played across the back four here by Slough towards Nisbet towards Sam Togwell. Draws a couple of players out here for Bristol Manor. Back in towards Josh Jackman. Plays it in towards Ben Harris. Little flick by him. Doesn't work. Shepherd dallies on the ball. Saws tries to get there first, and Saws still on him. Wins the ball back. Great play by Louis Saws. Got Ben Harris here, down this near hand side. Ben Harris gets across him from the right hand side, over the top of the goalkeeper. It'll come on the far hand side to George Wells. Wells crosses first time. Matt Stevens can't get there, headed away by Kingdon. The ball's going to come out here to Metters. Metters can bring the ball forwards here for Bristol Manor. Out on the far hand side, over the top here for Metters to chase. Metters gets there first. Jackman trying to get there. Metters holds the ball up, plays it in. It's blocked. Sean Fraser comes across for Slough to win for Slough. And the referee says it's a free kick. Slough looking for a advantage. The referee put his hand up and apologised immediately for that. It's here with Slough. Free kick. It's going to be 4 minutes of added time added on. Ball 1-2 here between Fraser and Dobson. Finding Josh Jackman. Jackman makes a bit of space. Comes to the edge of the box. Finding Ben Harris. Ben Harris down his right hand side. Cuts back inside. Crosses with his left foot. Poor cross into the box. Headed away. Ben Harris comes across. Gets on there, and it's easily taken by the goalkeeper, Ben John. You will take his time with this goal kick forwards. It's 2-2 here. And it's a good result so far here for Bristol Manor. Can they hold on for the 4 minutes of added time that will be indicated in a second? Ball played in towards Howe, who's on a hat-trick. Still got the ball at his feet. Trying to play it in towards Simpson. Simpson with a chance to get through. Oh, Turner comes out at his feet. Well, brave goalkeeping by Jack Turner. 4 minutes has been indicated. We're into that added time now. Wells with the ball forwards. It's intercepted by Jess Shepherd, but not only as far as Lee Togwell. Togwell coming forwards. Great challenge by Kidlington. Ball, I called him Kington, sorry. Ball here with Stamp. Stamp can turn, play the ball forwards. George Wells intercepts it for Slough, bringing the ball forwards on this left-hand side. Tries to play the ball in. Oh, it's not the best of efforts. And that will allow the goalkeeper to waste a little bit of time. With he's going to take his time with this goal kick here. We're into these added 4 minutes, 36 seconds into it so far. It's 2-2, Slough 2, Bristol Manor Farm 2. For the second FA Cup game in a row, Slough have been held by lower league opposition. If they're to have a cup run this year, they're making it very, very hard here. Ball play forwards to Howe, headed on by Sam Togwell. It's hooked clear by the Bristol Manor captain Kingdon to Nisbet, who volleys the ball forwards. Stevens trying to hold the ball up for Slough. Just being forced by a couple of players. Gets the ball into Jackman. Jackman has to come down this near hand side. Plays the ball in towards Saws. Saws has it intercepted. It's here with Dean Stam. Plays the ball down the field. Turner comes out of his goal to play the ball. Turner has the ball at his feet. In towards Nisbet. Nisbet looks up, finds Fraser. Fraser turns, opens his body in towards Lee Togwell. Back in towards Fraser. Fraser's got Saws on his outside. Finds Saws. Saws got to try and keep the ball in. Gets a cross in, headed away by at the near post. Been kept in by Shepherd, stopping it going out for a corner. Cleared. It's out for a throw to the Rebels here. Josh Jackman comes across to take this throw. Slough need an option. It comes from Louis Saws. Trying to play it in. Hooked clear by Stamp. The ball for Simpson to chase. Simpson gets his body the right way, but Nisbet's in there first for Slough. He intercepts the ball and brings it out. Spreads it on the left-hand side for George Wells. Wells trying to come down this left-hand side. Played down here towards Ben Harris. Harris coming into the edge of the box. Still trying to go. Trying to get to the byline. Gets across in. And he's got out of play for a goal kick. And it looks as though the Bristol Manor Farm are going to hang on for a very good 2-2 draw here this afternoon. And their fans behind the goal are making a lot more noise than the Slough fans at the moment. Oh, now there's one of the players has just gone down. It's Harvey, the centre-back, who's gone down injured inside the penalty area. And I think he's just got a little bit of cramp. And the referee just adding the time on here at the moment. He's already indicated that. And it's... there we go. Oh, it's going to be a substitution here for Bristol Manor. We're just waiting for who's going to come. It's 16 coming on for. We're just trying to find the number. You got to put a number on of who's coming off. And they're not going to do the substitution now. And so in the end they don't bother with the substitution. And it's a goal kick here for Bristol Manor. It's the goalkeeper, John, who's going to take this goal kick eventually. The referee will add on that bit of time wasting there. Plays the ball forward, looking for Howe. Comes off the head of Nisbet towards Josh Chapman. Just gets a touch to it. Howe chases the ball down. And there's a break on here for Bristol Manor. Howe it doesn't run kindly for him, but he's holding the ball up here. Up against Josh Chapman. Plays it off Chapman for a throw to Bristol Manor. They'll be happy with a 2-2 draw. They don't need that third goal. It's Slough that needs the third goal. It's heading to a replay on Tuesday evening. The ball played in here towards Howard, trying to hold the ball up here, playing it in. Stills with the clearance, but only as far as Shepherd. Shepherd trying to dink a ball in. It comes through to Simpson. Simpson running down that near-hand side. He's offside, and it's a free kick to the Rebels. Jack Turner's going to try and hurry this free kick on and try and get Slough further down the field. Takes it quickly. Easily headed away by Stam. His header's not the best. It comes out of play, and it's a throw to Slough. Josh Jackman comes across to take this one. Jackman trying to play the ball in. Ben Harris flicks the header on. It's a free kick. How is that a free kick to Slough? It's unbelievable. Ben Harris barges their player out of the way, and Slough get a free kick. And it's last gasp saloon here for the Rebels. We're into those 4 minutes of added time. They are almost up. Dobson's got a free kick here, 35 yards away from goal. Couple of feet from the byline. This is a last gasp effort for Slough. Dobson to take this free kick. Needs a good bit of delivery. Ball bouncing around. It's headed to clear. It's gone out for a corner to the Rebels. Have Slough got time to take it? Dobson's running across to take this corner. Dobson to run across. It will be an out-swinging corner. The referee just adding that little bit of time on from that injury in the added time. Dobson with this corner. Just waiting to play it. He needs to hurry it up. Plays it in short. It's not the best. It's headed away by Harvey. And that is the full-time whistle here at Arbor Park. It's finished Slough Town 2. Bristol Manor Farm F.C. 2. And Slough have again struggled against lower league opposition here this afternoon, and it's finished 2-2. Slough taking the lead twice. Matt Stevens just got a yellow card after the whistle there for something. Stevens has just got a yellow card after the full-time whistle. Have you done that? So you can't do a yellow card now.
Game's over.
Game's over. Matt Stevens just got a yellow card there. as the Bristol Manor Farm fans behind that goal make a lot of noise. Slough fans are just making their way back through. Do you reckon it's anything to do with the fact there's no alcohol on sale? But Slough have struggled here this afternoon, and Bristol Manor Farm have done well. Who was the man of the match? We don't know who the man of the match was, given by the match sponsors Royston's here this afternoon. But that does mean that the next game for the Rebels will be on Tuesday evening on the 9th of October, where they will be away to Bristol Manor Farm on Tuesday. That game will be the replay 7:45 kickoff, and Slough will have to do it the hard way again. And it's been a strange day, because Slough really did, the numbers show you that Slough had so many efforts on target this afternoon. They've hit the crossbar twice, but it's a silly mistake by the Slough defence that's normally been so good. And it's finished 2-2 here, and it's been a crazy game here, because Slough haven't really let Bristol Manor in. They've only had 4 shots in the entire game of Bristol Manor Farm, and they've scored 2 of them. They're just getting huge congratulations from their fans here by this main stand this afternoon. But Slough took the lead twice. First time through Matt Stevens on 10 minutes. Equaliser came 5 minutes into the second half from Owen Howe. Then Slough were gifted another chance when Chris Flood got the second goal for Slough on 62 minutes. And then on 78 minutes, a horrendous howler by Slough means that Owen Howe's got his second game. And James Dobson has been named man of the match. Ladies and gentlemen, final score here at Arbour Park. It's Slough Town 2, Bristol Manor Farm 2. The replay will be on Tuesday evening, the 9th of October, at the Creek, home of Bristol Manor Farm. 7:45 kickoff. The man of the match today by today's match sponsors, Royston's Building Services, is James Dobson. So today's man of the match was James Dobson. We will be back on Tuesday. That does mean that I've got to finish work early and miss out on a pub day at work. Brilliant. Thank you for that, guys. Thank you very much, everyone who's been listening in. Bristol Manor Farm have made a replay of this here this afternoon, and Slough will be truly gutted, because it's a silly mistake in their defence that has let Bristol Manor Farm in. But it's 2-2, and we wish all the Bristol Manor Farm fans a safe journey home this afternoon. But that's it for us here this afternoon. All over here at Arbour Park, all over for us. I'm going in to warm my hands up before they fall off. But until then, thank you all for listening in, and we wish you all the very best, and hopefully you have a decent weekend this afternoon. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.